from the chaos of Kirkcaldy to the blue sea of Ibrox. It's going to be a special night, and it's live and exclusive on Rangers TV. I'm Tom Miller, and riding shotgun for tonight's title tear-up will be John Bomber Brown, a man who knew a thing or nine about winning leagues in his time here. Exactly 9 in a row. Anybody? It's Dumbarton's turn tonight to try and turn the champagne flat, and we shouldn't forget that themselves, they have something to play for. They want to move up the table and away from those playoff places. However, our record against Stephen Aitken's squad is good for the season. It reads: played 3, won 3, scored 12, conceded only 1. We've scored some memorable goals against the Suns this season. Let's remind ourselves of the previous matchups, including a goal from Nathan Oduwa. That perhaps was the pick of the bunch on his spell on loan here from Tottenham, and that goes back to the turn of the year. Rangers versus Dumbarton. They've been good so far, have they not? And Waghorn just found a bit of space. Fancies it from there. Oh! Waghorn! It needed something special, and Martin Waghorn delivers. 18 minutes played of the second period. He just pops up way on the far side, skips inside, and unleashes an unstoppable driven effort into the back of the net beyond Mark Brown. A short pass back, punched upon by...
Oh, it's a penalty.
Has to be a penalty. There. And a red card, that has to be for Buchanan.
Yeah, it has to be.
Straight red for the defender Gregor Buchanan. It's Martin Waghorn. Goal Waghorn. 11 for the season, and Rangers on target to go 11 undefeated since the start of the season. A wonderful penalty, terrific delivery, just punched beyond the goalkeeper, nestling in the corner of the net. Martin Waghorn makes it 11 for the season. Long ball in the box, and the referee decides that's a penalty against Danny Wilson. Fraser Wright goes down, and the referee, from a long distance away from the incident, 90 minutes on the clock. It's Fleming against Fotheringham. Fleming! He gets a big break there as it spins off the glove of Wes Fotheringham. Dumbarton get one back through Gary Fleming. It's Dumbarton 1, Rangers 2.
James Tavernier digs one, and it does bring the goal, and it is the man on form, Jason Holt. He scores for the third game running. That is 5 goals in his last 8 games, and it had to be him to break the deadlock. It has taken Rangers under 90 seconds into the second half. They have the breakthrough. It's Rangers 1, Dumbarton 0. Rangers players flooding forward. If they move this right, it will be number 2. Holt brought down Zelalem. Quick touch onto Waghorn. Oh, it's a magnificent strike from Martin Waghorn. 5 goals in his last 5 games at Ibrox. Rangers hit Dumbarton on the counter-attack. And what a way to do it by Martin Waghorn. Wallace outside him. Clark ahead of him. Will Miller need either? He goes for Wallace, back to Oduwa. It's 3 for Rangers, and Nathan Oduwa has his first goal for the club. Looks to have enjoyed it as well. An outpouring of emotion from Nathan Oduwa, the man on loan from Tottenham Hotspur. His first goal for Rangers, and it's 3-0. Now Miller over the top. Lee Wallace surely tripped by Saunders.
Oh, no.
And Saunders, it's a straight red card for Stephen Saunders. It is Halliday, hammered in confidently, and Andy Halliday has his 4th goal for Rangers, but crucially, it's one he will particularly enjoy, his first at Ibrox Stadium, and it is one that puts Rangers into a 4-goal lead. Look what it means to him.
Halliday pops it in, Kenny Miller! Kenny Miller! Goal for Rangers! Wow! unorthodox. 4 minutes on the clock. Kenny Miller has a shoulder to shoulder with the goalkeeper Mark Brown, but so determined despite taking a knock along the way. Miller just knocks it across the goal line. Rangers break the deadlock at Dumbarton with 4 minutes of the first period remaining. Tavernier hangs one up in there. Kenny Miller! Wow. Stunner. Wonderful second goal for Rangers. They've used the full width of the park. Kenny Miller at the double. It's Dumbarton 0, Rangers 2, 59 minutes played. Here's Kenny Miller for the hat-trick. Oh, it's 3 for Kenny Miller. Yeah. Make a space on the mantelpiece. Tavernier again the provider. A precision pass from the fullback. Kenny Miller not picked up at all, and he just glides the ball beyond Mark Brown. Is it swept in again? There's the fourth. Waghorn. Again, it's Tavernier and Waghorn. The deadly duo. The undoing of Dumbarton. Great delivery, Tavernier. And Waghorn just drops off, finds the pocket of space, and cushions the ball into the net. It's Dumbarton 0, Rangers 4. Tavernier this time, or Andy Halliday?
Halliday.
Tavernier. Halliday. Well, he clips it up, he's got a big deflection.
Oh. That's the last thing he needs than Dumbarton.
He'll claim it nonetheless.
I know that.
It's a huge deflection from Andy Halliday. No great celebrations from Rangers. However, the bank balance by way of goals gets another deposit. 5 for the season for Andy Halliday, and it's 5 for the famous Glasgow Rangers. Now Zelalem. Back in for Tavernier, might fancy it. Oh, it's a decent hit, it's a decent goal. 6-0 Rangers, just deserts for Tavernier. Sweeping Rangers move, a smile the width of the River Clyde from James Tavernier. The barren spell is over. His last goal against Alloa on the 7th of November. 11 for the season, and they don't get much better than that. Well, it was a swashbuckling 6 when Rangers visited Dumbarton at the turn of the year into 2nd of January. Last visit here, however, Rangers had to up the tempo after going in 0-0 at half-time, but 4 second-half goals secured the points. It's a very good evening to John Brown. Great to have you back on Rangers TV, John. And before we talk about Dumbarton, we can expect a sensational turnout this evening.
Yeah, I think this season, Tom, there's a feel-good factor, and I was at the game on Saturday and I felt for the fans that we never clinched it, but tonight in front of 50,000 Rangers fans is going to be a special occasion, but the players have still got to go and do the business here.
I think that's something the manager will be impressing on them, that Dumbarton, like Raith Rovers on Saturday, had something to play for. They're looking for the playoff place. Dumbarton are wanting to escape any potential playoff as well.
Yeah, I think if you look at Dumbarton's results this season, there's been results that you expected, and then they've threw in some crazy results. Yep. That they've done very well, so I don't think you can take them for granted. And I think after Saturday the team will be looking to be positive and start at a high tempo. I think take the game to them, and if we can get an early goal, just get them in the back foot.
It might just start a party. The journey is almost complete, and next season the challenges change, but we need to be hungry and competitive. One man who is desperately keen to be part of it all is Andy Halliday. Andy knows the importance of winning the league and the requirement and expectation at this club to strive to be the best. He should do. He's one of our own. Here's Andy Halliday.
It'll mean a lot to myself, it'll mean a lot to always. It's been our main aim since the start of the season, and the way I see it, we've been top of the league since the first day of pre-season. It's as simple as that, and you know, we feel as if since the first day we've just been progressing and getting better and better, and we've only been going one way, and that's forward. And like you said, the finishing line's in sight, but I think we touched on it after the game on Saturday. It's important that we don't limp over the line. We still want to go out and maintain the good standards and performances that we've set ourselves, so we just want to win every game from now to the end of the season.
As you say, it has been an incredible campaign, and the boys have managed to find a level of consistency throughout the campaign, given that it is still a relatively new group of players.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why I say that, because I think that our level of performances throughout the season, the season doesn't deserve to just sort of peter out towards the end. So we've got to maintain the standards that we've set ourselves, and that's what obviously that's one way. When you're playing so well for a certain period of time, you've got to keep it up for the end of the season. And I think we've had some outstanding performances this season. I think our style of play throughout the season has been excellent, and I'd like to think that the fans have certainly been entertained a lot of the games. You know, we're still a team it's been together 8 months. We're still learning, and like I said, the one thing you can take away with a couple of defeats we've had, that you'll never learn unless you don't lose and you don't make any mistakes. So it's something we've got to take on, and it'll just make us better and stronger as a squad.
When you started off the campaign, of course, you must have been confident that this squad could achieve that, could achieve the title, and they certainly have done that. As you say, some performances have been disappointing, but overall they've done it in a very good style. Yeah,
that's why I say I think we've been ahead since the first day of pre-season, because since the gaffers came in, him and Davey have obviously had their philosophy and they've put their stamp on it, and they've changed the full style of play within the squad, and I think we've just got better and better since the first day, and even now, you know, when I watch us in training every day, I still think we're getting better, and I still think there's room for improvement, and we're our own biggest critics. That's the reason we do analysis every single day, because it's just a couple of laps of concentration, individual errors, and we've got to tighten that up, because like I said, we're full throttle ahead for now at the end of the season, and like I said, we've only been going one way since the start of the season. We want to continue that.
How much have you learned about yourself this season? Your first year at Rangers, of course, there's so much expectation and challenges being a Rangers player. What have you learned about yourself this year?
I think the main thing for myself is it's the first season since I was maybe 17 or 18 when I've went a full season without injuries, and that's massive for a football player. This pre-season, I always say that a pre-season is massive for a football player. If you get an injury during pre-season, you miss it, then it's always hard to sort of recoup that full fitness to tackle a full season, and the fact that I got through that was the main thing for myself, because at the end of the day I felt strong, I felt fit, and I've been really happy with my performances. I think I've had a consistent level throughout the season, and you know, 8 goals for a holding midfielder, it's obviously not too bad. I've managed to play a few games further forward, and my aim's always been double figures since I've done that. So you know, I've been happy with my performances this season, but I think that's been the case throughout the whole squad. I think everyone's had a good season, but like I always say, there's definitely room for improvement, and you know, when it comes to myself as well, I know I can get better.
8 goals, as you've said there. Did you have a favourite goal throughout the season so far?
It's got to be the Hibs one. Obviously, being my debut for the club, and it's something I've dreamed of since I was a young boy, to sort of pull on that blue jersey, and you know, Hibs were our sort of closest rivals towards the title and towards the Petrofac, so it was always, you know, we thrived on that being the draw. That was massive for us. We all loved it. I remember watching the draw and obviously celebrating when we got that draw, because when you're at a club like this, you've got to want to play this big games, and people keep telling me about there's a massive 2 weeks coming up, but they're always massive. They're always big games at this football club, and you know, getting that draw against Hibs was huge for myself. You know, I've travelled as a fan and seen a lot of good wins at Easter Road, but I've never seen a team score 6 at Easter Road, so it was always good to do it that day. And in terms of the goal itself, it was a good one as well. So yeah, that's definitely been my best goal. But I said a couple of weeks ago I'd like to score a couple more goals at Ibrox, and I've managed to do that. I've scored 2 since, so hopefully that can continue. It's safe to say it's been my best year so far in football, and I've just thrived on sort of playing for Rangers. It's sort of exceeded my expectations and more, and I've sort of thrived on the pressure that's came with and the expectations, and like everyone says, when they come to Rangers, they come to win medals, and hopefully, like we say, we're going to win a couple at least this season, but I'm just going to look forward to the rest of it, because hopefully I'm here for as long as possible, and I can win many more things in the time to come.
Well, kick-off just 7 minutes away, and tonight Mark Warburton makes one change from the side that finished 3-3 against Raith Rovers on Saturday. He brings back Billy King, and Michael O'Halloran drops to the bench. So it's Fotheringham in goal, a back 4 of Tavernier, Kiernan, Wilson and Wallace. Ahead of them it's Holt, Halliday, Forrester. Up top, King, Miller and Mackay. On the bench for Rangers, Bell, Ball, Law, Clark, Shields, O'Halloran and Zalalam. John, just looking at the way that Mark Warburton shaped his side tonight, he is a stickler for 4-3-3. Is it just a case of rotation with the number of games that's on the agenda?
I think so. I think tonight, looking at Dumbarton's layout, they've got good experience with the lad Fraser Wright, who'll probably play in front of the back 4, and I think they'll be looking at anything in the counter-attack, Tom. But I think Rangers should get enough possession of the ball. It's in the final third. Hopefully we can put one or two away. I think in recent games, Kenny Miller's been outstanding in recent months. Actually, he's been a great example. And I think when you think Kenny's been a mainstay, and there's other players coming in for a Halloran tonight, just to freshen things up. And I think with his trickery and getting it. Defenders, I think he could be a big problem for Dumbarton's defence along with Mackay. He's close control, getting into the box, and hopefully you get the support of Holt and Forrester, who I've been really impressed with. Forrester in recent games, he's picked up. His reading of the game's exceptional. I think he's still working on his fitness, but if you get a good hour out of him, he's got a goal in him, and he could be a key player.
All to play for tonight. The championship title, well, is 90 minutes away. All going to plan. Incidentally, Dumbarton make two changes. They don't have Darren Barr, who's been a mainstay of their side this season, and that's why Fraser Wright is likely to hold the head of that back four. In the terms of his loan, Tom Walsh can't feature for either side tonight. He's a genuine talent who will have benefited from game time with the Suns this season, but he'll be back to try and force himself into contention at Ibrox for the Premiership campaign. Tom explains why he was happy to head to Dumbarton at the end of January in the transfer window.
It's good to be out playing games. I think I was at the stage just back from injury. It was important for me to go and get games. There was no point in me sitting about here if I wasn't going to be involved, because the manager said that I'm as well going to get game time, and that was the biggest thing for me at this age. I need to get games. So no, it's been good. I had a good run of games, and then I had a couple of weeks I've been left out on the bench, but obviously I feel like I've reacted well to it, so hopefully I'll be back in the team for the coming game.
Have you been enjoying it, despite the team aren't at the top of the league, but have you been enjoying it?
Yeah, it's tough. There's good weeks and there's frustrating weeks, because obviously down at the bottom of the league, so obviously there's going to be results against us. But we've had good results as well. We beat Hibs and drew with Falkirk, so but then there's the frustrating weeks, like last week we beat 6-0 away to Queens, and it's just a wee bit inconsistent, but I suppose with the team being part-time, maybe that's where that comes from, but there's a lot of good players there, and it's not as easy as teams who are full-time. They can work with each other every day and tactically, but I think Dumbarton do it quite well. There's a good tight-knit squad. So.
I think it's been said in the past that it's sometimes good for players to go out on loan because you get spoilt a little bit here at Murray Park. Would you agree with that? Yeah,
when I went to Stenhousemuir and I came back, I appreciated this place more. That's no disrespect to obviously the lesser clubs, but it's a bit of an eye-opener, and it just makes you appreciate this more, and that we can't take it for granted. Obviously I'm 19, but I think when you get to 18, 19, you need to go and get that experience, because these guys are fighting for a wage, you know what I mean? So every week, so it is important to go up against that rather than 20s. You can get too comfortable at 20s, and you need to go and challenge yourself.
What can Rangers expect when they come up against them on Tuesday? Because of late, Dumbarton have actually done quite well against the teams higher up in the league.
Yeah, I think it's usual. Ibrox, Dumbarton will be defensive. You can imagine. I don't know, but you'd imagine that's how they'll set up. Unfortunately, I can't play, but when any team that goes to Ibrox tends to kind of sit in and play counter-attack and stuff, and you'd imagine that's how Dumbarton will play. But it's a weird one for me. I don't know.
Yeah, I was going to say, is it a bit tricky for you? Do you know who to support when?
I don't even know if I'm going to go. I don't know how it's going to work. I think Rangers can win the league as well, so it's a bit of an awkward one for me. But we'll just take it as is.
Are you hoping to come back to Rangers as a slightly more rounded player? Is that the idea?
Yeah. Being able to do the defensive shift, and obviously, as I said, I need to improve in goals more and stuff. But I think I'm creating things, which is the main thing, for the team. But I think I will come back a better player.
Well, Tom Walsh here, a young player with a huge future, and he's so two-footed, John, and it's all ahead of him.
Yeah, and I think it's great experience. I would always look at putting young boys out, Tom, and getting experience. I experienced that myself as a 16, 17-year-old at Hamilton, and it'll do the boy no harm whatsoever. And he's got great potential, and he'll come back a better player.
Simply the best. Echoes all around Ibrox Park. Lee Wallace leads out his charges for what could be a title-winning evening here at Ibrox. A capacity crowd, hardly a seat to be got. The ticker tape's been released inside the main stand this evening. A refresher of the teams, one change for Rangers. A start for Billy King, Michael O'Halloran on the bench. Fotheringham's in goal, a back four of Tavernier, Kiernan, Wilson, Wallace, Holt, Halliday, Forrester, King, Miller and Mackay. For Dumbarton, two changes from their 0-0 draw with Morton on their last outing, and that's Taggart and Waters coming in for Barr and Heffernan. So two vastly experienced players not starting the match for Stephen Aitken's side. They go with Ewings in goal, a back four of Taggart, Saunders, Buchanan and Docherty. Two holding ahead of them are Waters, who incidentally is on loan from Celtic, and Fraser Wright. Then it's Routledge, Fleming and Lindsay. Christian Nadi, the former Hearts man, leads the line for Dumbarton. Rangers in their traditional blue shirts, trimmed with white. Kenny Miller grabbed a hat-trick against Dumbarton when the sides met on the 2nd of January. He's got 17 for the season and looking to add to his tally. Atmosphere inside Ibrox, absolutely sensational. Tonight's referee, Stephen McLean, checks with assistants Graham Leslie and Colin Pensome, and we're underway. Thanks for joining us on Rangers TV for Rangers versus Dumbarton. And it's Nadi who's a handful against his former Hearts teammate Wallace, but Rangers defend well. We'll take a minute or two just to check the formations in the company of John Brown momentarily, as King, hugging that touchline in front of the Sandy Jarton stand, plays the 1-2 with Tavernier. Then Forrester gets involved as well. No real pressure on the ball so far in Rangers' half of the field. Rangers looking to clinch the title tonight. Is it important, John, that perhaps having conceded 3 goals in the last 3 outings, that Rangers just be perhaps less gung-ho and keep that back door locked?
I think so, but I think we'll want to retain the ball, just find our way into the game, and then I think the longer the game goes, the fitness levels will take over.
Hunting in packs as Rangers don't have the ball there. The last touch off Nadi. I can tell you that Andy Halliday was, and is indeed, suffering a heavy cold, and having spoken to him in the tunnel, he has lost his voice, but I think it would have taken an amputation to have him not involved in this one tonight.
I think a heavy cold, would accept that any day of the week. It's a title winning performance we need tonight for Andy, and he wouldn't want to miss this for any game going, so I think a wee sniffle will not do him any harm.
Here's Forrester getting it from Miller, dismisses Tavernier. Wonderful atmosphere inside Ibrox. Thanks for joining us on Rangers TV. Round the corner, chased by King, drifts out of play, shielded by Mark Docherty, and I think we've got an early indication that Dumbarton are happy to slow down the pace of this game already, John. Yeah, I'm just looking at Nadi. I had him at Dundee, big strong lad up front, but when Rangers in possession of their own half, they've got 10 players in their own half with Nadi just pressing up front, so it's going to be a night that the team need to be patient. I think I'd like to see enough width to it, that where wide players are getting on the ball and creating opportunities. Pressure on the ball from Tavernier. Good ball retention from Fleming, who's a handful. He's their top scorer, just playing off the front. Nadi has it again. Here's Fleming, skipper tonight with Darren Barr missing. His forward ball is meat and drink to Lee Wallace. Wallace will work through the gears here. Scored 2 against Dumbarton last season. Now Mackay takes over. There's a foot race on, but he's stopped there by former Motherwell man Stephen Saunders. Just looking at that formation, they could even be a back 3, or Saunders at right back, Buchanan in right. Central is Forrester, so determined. Involves Mackay now. Wants to give and go. Wallace is in a very advanced area as well. And the late decision goes against Barry Mackay as Taggart goes to ground. It looks like a back 4 with Wright being central with the former Airdrie and Queen's Park defender Buchanan, with Taggart being the holder, the screener in midfield. Yeah, they're just going to sit in there and obviously the goalkeeper kick-outs and support Nadi. He's a big strong lad. He'll give the 2 centre-halves of Rangers a problem physically tonight, but they should have enough to handle him. It's John Brown and Tom Miller bringing you all the action from Ibrox this evening. And an acknowledgement all round the stadium this evening. It's shades of Sandy Jardine when the 2-minute clock after the untimely death of Sandy, who we lost fully 2 years ago, John. And this is a night that you have to remember. Guys like yourself who bleed for the club, Rangers.
Yeah, and Sandy was one of my heroes, Tom, and when I came to the club I got a lot of good advice from him, and sad that he's not here, but hopefully tonight we can win the league, and it's a celebration, winning the league in Sandy's memory too.
Yeah, a wonderful opportunity to recall a great Ranger as Buchanan, very late indeed on Harry Forrester. Forrester straight back to his feet, and Buchanan gets a word in his ear from tonight's referee, Stephen McLean. You had Stephen's brother under your charge in your time with Rangers second 11, Brian McLean.
Brian McLean, he was a good lad, yeah. Far better player than the referee, I can tell you that.
And of course, you may not know this, but you also played in the father's testimonial. Father Stuart was a Kilmarnock player. Brian and Stephen, tonight's referee, were actually mascots in their father's testimonial in the days of Souness. Here's Holt, looks to deliver, tracked all the way there by Fraser Wright. He's dragged him out the central defensive area, and Fleming with the clearance. Do you remember that fixture down at Rugby Park?
I don't, Tom. You know, occasions like testimonials, I remember winning championships and cup finals, but games like that you'll be getting a Christmas card for the guy.
I think you should. Well deserved. You probably satisfied his Swiss bank account for many years to come as one over the top. Intended for Miller, scooped away by Buchanan. Gathered now by Johnny Routledge, former Hamilton player. The last touch comes off Taggart. It's been a murder. Picked up by Forrester, and Rangers try and intensify the pressure. While we're here, a very special birthday to report. Talking one of our own, Richard Gough. Many happy returns. Just don't light the candles on the cake. San Diego Fire Department could be in trouble.
How old is he now, Tom?
I wouldn't care to guess.
Oh my God. It must be 65.
54 actually.
54? Mike.
Can you believe this one?
Can't believe
Barcelona Bear, Alfie Conn, is actually 10 years older. Alfie Conn also celebrating a birthday today. He's 64.
Well, there you go. I would have put it the other way around.
Richard will not be a happy bunny. Always good to have his company in Rangers TV. Halliday foraging for it, determined, committed, holds off the challenge. Keep ball, Rangers. Here's Mackay. Doubling up in the full-back area to good effect, though. Dumbarton are durable, John.
Yeah, it's going to be a long night. I think the fans have just got to be patient. The team's just got to keep possession. Opportunities will open up as the game goes on. I would think the first 10-15 minutes it's a bit nervy, looking to get a goal.
I thought Mark Warburton's a wee bit tentative when I spoke to him in the tunnel this evening. You can understand as Forrester tries to work the opening. He is the go-to player for Rangers at the moment, isn't he?
He has. He's been excellent in recent games, and I think he's one of the key ones to unlock Dumbarton's defence tonight. And I think from Saturday there might be a bit where the disappointment of not winning it at the last kick of the ball, and it'll maybe take the players a few minutes to get back into their stride, but I think fitness levels will overcome Dumbarton tonight, Tom.
Well, getting up close and personal is Callum Waters on Billy King. Say Waters, a season-long loan from Celtic, making his 18th appearance of the season. Normally a defender by trade, deployed in the holding midfield role as Rangers come forward again. One for King to chase, and Docherty just happy to pop it out of play. Rangers forcing the pressure at the moment, but so far yet to test the goalkeeper, John Brown.
Yeah, it's we're only into our eighth minute, and it's going to be a long night, Tom, and the fans have came here to celebrate. The players will know that, and it's just going to take a bit longer, I think, to unlock the door of their defence here. And I think once we get the first goal, I think we'll get 2 or 3.
Here's Barry Mackay. Has to chase, and again his forward ball well picked off by Dumbarton defensively. Nadi gets there ahead of Danny Wilson, but can't keep it in play. Now Christian Nadi, 4 goals for the season, left Hamilton in February.
I think we're just trying to force it a wee bit here, Tom, you know, and the players just need to keep possession, get them chasing the ball, tire the legs, the heads start to go after a period when you're chasing it all night, and we just need to be a bit more careful in the final third with that crucial pass.
Kieran with the switch, gathered by Mackay. Forrester again, demanding it almost. I used to hear you with the second 11, John. The boys were learning the game. You used to shout, demand it when you're in possession. As Billy King does well to keep possession. Mackay drops off. King squeezes it into the path of Miller. Miller hangs it up, back post, unchallenged. Keeper Ewings comes to gather. Yeah. And as that was about, demand it, show you're a good player. Yeah, well, if you can't do it in the second string, you're never going to make the first team. And it's very important. I think the vast majority of the players Rangers have got have been very comfortable with the ball at the feet. It's how they use it and the right opportunity to create the chances. We've done that all season, Tom. We've scored a fantastic amount of goals, and I'm sure we'll create, and I'm sure sooner or later we'll get that opening. We just make sure we're tight at the back. 115 goals scored in competitive action so far this season. We're in search of number 116. Interestingly though, defensively, John, in all competitive matches, Rangers have conceded only 33 goals, 9 of which in the last 3 games. Yeah, I was speaking to Walter in the Blue Room there, and there was games where we were winning the leagues and going to Partick Thistle and getting beat 3-0, and other games where we've conceded a number of goals but we've won the title. I think if we win the title tonight, you'll soon forget the goals that we've conceded in the recent games. Game being played in Dumbarton's half at the moment. Thanks for joining us on Rangers TV. Andy Halliday thought about unplugging one early, passes it on to Tavernier, skips away from Docherty. Force wide, still James Tavernier. Looks to dig out a delivery. Docherty, stubborn and determined. Corner Rangers. And I think over the season too, Tom, it's Dumbarton have been stuffy towards a number of the teams, and it's going to take a bit of time to break them down. At times they've got 9 outfield players across the 18-yard box, very difficult to break down, so it's going to take the 90 minutes to open them up tonight. Rangers again try and work it from the short corner. Halliday in the final effort is well off target. You almost came close to managing Dumbarton at one time. I did. I was lucky I got out to Dumbarton about 7:30 that night. I think when you get an interview in a crematorium, it tells you something. Well, you didn't quite box it off then. Half the team was in the back room, Tom. Well, they are a progressive club. There's a certain manager you worked under enjoying a seat in the director's box this evening. Yeah, and he's got a lovely tan. Lovely tan indeed. Mrs. Smith alongside too. Probably just back from Dubai. The legend that is Walter Smith, sitting next to Frank McParland, the head of recruitment at Ibrox. Now who's going to, we expect, to have a pretty busy summer if he's not already got his homework done. Miller dropping off to try and engineer the opening. Mackay takes over. Holt goes central. Again, you could throw a blanket over that 2 banks of 4 in front of the goalkeeper. Yeah, but over the piece, Tom, that you can only run for so long when you've not got the ball, and it's soul destroying, and we've just got to be patient and work the opportunities. Barry forcing a pass there, just don't get caught up in there and just keep possession of the ball. A quick shout, let's go down under. Hello Gary and all at Brisbane Rangers Supporters Club, and of course they're in Queensland, great Rangers Supporters Club. They very kindly gifted me a trophy 2 seasons ago for the enjoying hours they had on Rangers TV. Great bunch of boys. They are. The fans worldwide, my mate Monty and his wife Sharon in Hong Kong, and everybody else, just fantastic. Great to have your company tonight on Rangers TV. We hope we have an extended show for you this evening beyond the 90 minutes. However, the work is still to be done, as King has acres in fact ahead of him. His first touch is through, skips inside, tries to hold off Docherty, who is chasing him like an Alsatian. The switcher play from Halliday doesn't quite reach its target. Rangers do get the throw in, the last touch coming off Scott Taggart, back in the side today. Halliday, as I say, was carrying a very heavy cold going into this one this evening. 8 goals for the season for Halliday, including converting a spot kick here against Dumbarton after Martin Waghorn had left the field. Holt trying to create the opening. Miller always on the move. gets it from Tavernier. Kenny Miller, not quite sure what he wanted there, but he's certainly determined. Angled it for Mackay, back across the face of the 18-yard box. Kenny Miller, the architect, Barry Mackay just rushed that final ball, John.
Yeah, I think we're just we're forcing things. We might be taking in the final thirds. They're just they're getting a bit frustrated. Just need to calm down, keep possession, and keep passing the ball. You know, and it's probably the poorest we've started the game in a while, Tom. But there's a kick on for Saturday's game, and it maybe take us another 15 minutes to get into the game. They've defended very well.
Didn't see an awful lot of that one as Harry Forrester adjudged to have had a tug at Gary Fleming. Dumbarton have the free kick. Lindsay over the ball. Another player on loan from Celtic. And they're not being over ambitious with the number of players he's got to aim at in the box. Flighted in by Lindsay. Nadia the target. Kiernan gets something on it. Not sure that that's what he was looking to do, but gathered Fotheringham.
Yeah, he just got a touch on it, but I'd like to see it go the other way.
Perhaps just didn't stretch the neck muscles enough. 15 minutes played, Rangers 0, Dumbarton 0. Tom Miller in the company of John Brown bringing you this title clincher, we hope. King has it, tries to get away from Docherty. Thought about the early delivery and again just runs into traffic. Well defended, backtracking with Waters. Rangers have to start it again as the free kick goes against Christian Nadi. Jason Holt going beyond the backtracking Saunders. Mackay now for Wallace, thinking about the early snapshot. Again, it's so tight and congested. Holt that takes a huge deflection. The Sting taking out the effort and through to Ewings.
I think Stevie Aiken, he's looked at it. He knows that Rangers like to link up with the strikers, making runs, third man running, and their midfield players are so deep it's difficult to get through there, and our options have been struggling, and now I think we need to get width and maybe get by the full back. At times they're playing 5 at the back and it's been very difficult to break down.
Width is the key, and Mackay has pace to burn. Wallace makes the late supporting run, but he won't get in on the end of that, and an easy take for Ewings. Yeah, you have to think if Barry Mackay and Billy King get paint on their boots here, Dumbarton have to open out and create space for runners to get beyond the strikers.
Yeah, I think we're only into the 60th minute, Tom, you know, and it's been frustrating up to now. Some slack passing. We just need to take a bit more care with the ball. And the game lasts 90 minutes. If you score in the 89th, you win the league. So we give away a free kick there, and we defend it okay, but we need to be on our toes.
Well, Dumbarton sitting in 8th place at the moment, 2 points better off than Livingston, but 8 less than St Mirren, so they're not quite out the woods yet, of course. Rangers 76 points, and the maximum Hibernian can muster is 77. Hibs are at home tonight to Livingston, and of course Falkirk, well, are out the equation now. The maximum Falkirk can raise is 74 points. Buchanan with the free kick was 26 in the last day of March. Red carded against Rangers down at Dumbarton this season. Not timed at all by Kiernan. Looking again to gather is Fraser Wright in a very advanced area, and Nadi just out-muscles Kiernan. But you want to see your defenders out-muscle the striker.
Yeah, it's an area I'm sure the manager looks at too, Tom. You know, you're looking at for next season, and not just next season. We've got a big semi-final coming up. You'll be looking at strong centre halves along with your goalkeeper. You always talk about the spine of your team, and your goalkeeper and 2 centre halves. Everything else revolves around that. If you're strong there, then you can build for there. So I'd like to see a bit more strength from the central defenders.
Forrester's given it away. Kiernan commits himself early, going beyond them now. Oh, looking for Nadi, and that's a fine intervention from Danny Wilson. All starts by Harry Forrester's slack touch, and it left the back four a bit exposed.
But it's sloppy again, Tom. You know, Dumbarton's not been in the game, and it's through slackness from the Rangers players and getting caught high up in your own half. And Danny Wilson, it was a dive in to save that, or Nadi was going to have a free hit at goal.
Halliday slides it into the path of Holt. Wallace in support. Now Mackay. Clever ball for Miller. Miller holds off Routledge. Mackay takes over. It's not the best of deliveries and easily defended by Dumbarton as Fleming has it now. Final ball from Barry Mackay tonight. We know he's capable of better.
Yeah, like the whole team, I think some of the passing has been poor, but there's a bit of nerves here. A lot of these guys have never experienced winning the league, and the enormity of it to go up to the Premier League. So,
is it like a golfer with the yips almost?
We've been in the position ourselves going into very important games to win a title. Aberdeen last game of the season, very nervous before the game, and it probably took us 20-30 minutes to start to get in the game, you know, and it looks as though it's the same case here tonight with Rangers.
I remember that Aberdeen game in particular, John. You defied medical opinion to play in that one.
Well, to be out in the park to win any championship is fantastic, and when you're doing it in front of the crowd that we have here tonight, these guys, the experience they'll get from that and confidence will be fantastic.
A good take from Jason Hope, but again just runs into traffic and thumped away by Fraser Wright. 20 minutes under our belt at Ibrox. Rangers 0, Dumbarton 0. John Brown bringing you all the analysis and expertise from the gantry this evening. Dumbarton have shipped 11 goals in their last 3 visits to Ibrox, but at the moment showing real durability. Here's Forrester. What a great take that is, though. Harry Forrester. Forrester on target. Gloved and saved by Ewings.
I've been really impressed in recent games with Forrester. I think his awareness, his touch, and it's a great strike there, and he's been chipping in with good goals recently, Tom.
It's the way he's just found that pocket of space, John.
Yeah, he's worked on his fitness. It took him a wee while to get into it, but his awareness of things round about him is excellent.
Now here's Billy King. Tavernier goes beyond him. Back for Tavernier. Has he got a delivery? Squeezed it into the penalty spot. Miller wrong side of Buchanan, and again Dumbarton's defence stands for him. One high by Wilson. Here's Halliday. Halliday now up to Barry Mackay. Mackay tries to go beyond Saunders. Miller is central, as is Holt. Wallace drops off. Wallace has it now. Wallace looks to deliver the give and go with Kenny Miller. Forced to come back and start it again. In for King. King again exchanges passes with Miller. Now Halliday. Still Rangers 0, Dumbarton 0. Forrester has it now. Can't get sight of the target. Miller's gathered it. He's looking to create that half yard. King back for Kenny Miller. Miller dancing into the danger area. And somehow or another Dumbarton defending numbers, John Brown.
Yeah, but we're starting to up the ante here, Tom, and we're looking more of a threat, and I think it's been over 20 minutes that they've been chasing the ball, and you start to see wee chinks in their defence.
Yeah, Rangers laying siege to Dumbarton's penalty box. Harry Forrester has it. Here's Barry Mackay! All across the face of goal. How did that stay out?
Yeah, it's you can see they're starting to get stretched there, and a bit more confidence in the Rangers passing there, and I think it's just a matter of time before we get a goal.
Have Rangers up the tempo in the last minute or two?
Yeah, you can see midfield players are no matching runners, and a great link up with Forrester there too. And Mackay will be disappointed. He'll have expected to hit the target there.
Would he not be better wrapping his foot round it?
Absolutely, you know, but he's been excellent this season, you know, and I think he can be a key player tonight.
41st appearance of the season for Barry Mackay, a remarkable transformation.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Last season he was out in loan, he was struggling to get games elsewhere, and the manager showed a lot of confidence in him.
Great angled movement from Wallace, but he leans into Saunders, and the free kick goes in favour of Dumbarton. Barry Mackay has all the qualities to unpick Dumbarton here tonight if he just picks the right ball.
I think he's a lad that he feeds off with confidence, you know, and the longer the game goes, he's a lad that get him on the ball, he's got the pace to burn, and he's got to believe in himself a bit more, and I think he could be an exceptional player for us.
Here's Lee Wallace, who covers the territory with real distinction. His fitness levels are remarkable, Lee Wallace.
He's been fantastic. I think he's been one of the main players this season, and all the talk about Scotland, this and that'll all come. I think he's just desperate. He's been there the whole road from the bottom divisions right through, and anybody deserves a championship tonight is Lee Wallace.
Captain, fantastic. There's another ex-Hearts man who has fed it into Forrester. Great role with Forrester. He might have the angle. Charged down by Routledge. King and Forrester linking well, and again Dumbarton difficult to play through. Naddy again out, muscles Rob Kiernan, chance to drive it, Danny Wilson. Kiernan recovers to get in behind Wilson. Nadi cuts a lonely figure. Holt gets involved. And Nadi loses out to the backtracking Halliday. Is there a wee bit of anxiety getting to the players from the stands, John?
Yeah, there's bound to be. The fans have came here expecting a party. I think we'll get it, but we just need to take a bit more care in possession. And even Big Kiernan there too. There's a couple of times he's been slack, one-on-ones. Just stand your ground. Don't let them run by you easily.
Hello to Jamie Mack, who's watching the game tonight in Amsterdam. If you're going shopping this evening, Jamie, be careful. Rangers 0, Dumbarton 0. 24 minutes played. Docherty with the throw. Just happy to launch it long. Forrester really in the thick of it again. Tavernier digs out the delivery. It doesn't have the trajectory to find Mackay, but the touch from Taggart only feeds it into Barry Mackay. Halliday sits. Mackay tries to probe and create the opening. Tavernier, Miller, always doing the hard yards to drag players away from where they should be. Halliday has it now. Looking for the movement of Tavernier. It's ambitious, but it's on the money. Tavernier will keep it in play. Back for Mackay, who's drifted to the right flank. Wallace, the outball here for Halliday. Halliday gets a very, very late challenge from Johnny Routledge, and this is getting more prevalent throughout the game, and Halliday looks to have taken one in the ankle, John Brown.
I think he's dwelling on the ball, Tom. I think he's got to move it. I think we've been taking one or two passes too many rather than getting it moving sharper. You can see that it's going to be the vast majority of the possession is going to be in Rangers' side here, so if they can move it, keep moving the ball, work the fitness, get it into Kenny's feet and work round about, you're going to create chances here.
Here's Wallace. Halliday, good to go. He's back in possession now. One of those ones, the stud just leaving a mark. It's Mackay for Wallace. Nadi, the only man left in an advanced area for Dumbarton. Happy to pass on Kiernan. Out for Billy King, the one change in the Rangers side tonight. Back in for Michael O'Halloran. Still King. Halliday. We get predictable from Rangers in the build-up, John, to be candid.
Yeah, but I'm looking at the way they're defending here. We need something to maybe try to get in behind them. A precise pass. But it's a long night and it takes 90 minutes to win the game.
Kenny Miller holds it up. Works it into Halliday. Chips it long, looking to return the compliment to release Miller. Gregor Buchanan's clearing header is picked off by Wallace.
Dumbarton can't keep this up for 90 minutes, Tom. Sooner or later there's going to be a gap. We've got the quality players to score the goals here, and it's just a matter of time.
In from Mackay, but headed away by Fraser Wright. So what John's actually saying is Dumbarton could well rock shortly.
Absolutely. You're one way up on here, Tom.
Forrester down by Saunders. The goal kick is the award from Stephen McLean. Harry Forrester is trying everything he knows to create that opening. He's in talks about extending his contract, John, and for me, he deserves a new deal.
Yeah, I think he's been one of the best players in the last few months since he came in. He's been creating, he's been scoring, and he's been pivotal in everything that Rangers have been doing.
Hello to the New England Bears. That's Sheena, Rob, Graham, David and Adam. Good to have your company. And hello to our good friend Hernan and Mika over in Argentina. When I can tell you the scoreline from the Leith area of Edinburgh. The Burnley 0, Livingston 1. They've hibsed it again potentially.
Yeah, you still want to win it in your own terms, Tom, you know.
Absolutely, it's what we do ourselves. Rangers in search of their 116th goal for the season. That averages, incidentally, if my arithmetic's any good, at 2.738 goals per game. That's impressive.
Yeah, very impressive.
I don't mean the goal scoring, my arithmetic. Here's Tavernier up for Miller. Cannons off the backtracking defender. Thumped away. There are signs that Dumbarton are just looking for any kind of relief.
Yeah. Anytime they've got the ball, it's been through slack passing ourselves here, Tom, you know, so keep the ball, keep them working, opportunities are going to arise.
It's all Rangers, it's all about the Rangers. Here's Holt. Are we seeing enough of Jason Holt, John?
I like him. I think he's been one of the top players this season. He runs into the box, reminiscent of Ian Durrant, you know, and third man running, getting in the end of things where other players can't see it.
King for Tavernier. Aerial route looking for Miller, can't gather, knocked away by Stephen Saunders. Yeah, Jason Holt, 10 goals for the season tonight, making his 35th start of the campaign, all competitive matches. I just feel tonight he's playing a wee bit in the peripheral.
Yeah, but Tom, it's hard to see any space through there, you know. The midfield are so deep, it's hard to get any space in there. Defenders are going deeper, so just to be patient here. Things will open up, we'll create, and we'll get on the end of one or two opportunities, I would imagine.
Holt and Wallace exchanged passes. Halliday now. Back to the aforementioned Jason Holt. Very difficult to break this Dumbarton side down. They've came here to shut up shop, and after half an hour they've done so successfully. Here's Halliday. Here's Forrester coming in from the wide area. Back to Halliday. Holt. Halliday goes round the corner. He has it now from Miller. Again, just a wee bit static, needed to perhaps gamble and throw it in earlier as Mackay slides it into Wallace. Back again for Halliday. Rangers looking for this precision pass that will unpick Dumbarton. Loads of possession. Probing constantly. Looking for the half yard. Mackay. Tavernier. Miller peels away to the far side.
I think we've had enough possession there, Tom, that everything's in front of the Dumbarton defence midfield there. We had opportunities down the left-hand side to get in behind the full-back and get their defenders turned. Centre-halves hate getting turned and they can't see the strikers, so I would like to see us trying to get to the touchline and cut backs and see midfield players coming in to get in the end of things.
However, if Dumbarton's back four get any deeper, they'll be queuing up in Asda. Here's Harry Forrester. Forrester, still Forrester. Goes for the angle drive, shut down by Buchanan. Interesting. And a very late challenge from Routledge. Yellow card, Johnny Routledge. It's a straight leg challenge on Andy Halliday, John Brown.
It's a yellow card, Tom, you know. He's both of them have slid in there too, you know, and probably frustration for both players.
Well, he's got previous. It's the 11th yellow card of the season for Johnny Routledge. It's scrappy, but he has to get something on it here. He's followed through though.
It looked a bad one, yeah. But I'd have been proud of that myself, Tom.
Well, you're another ex-Hamilton man, of course. And Routledge, 4 spells at Hamilton, 10 yellow for the season. He was red carded against Alloa last month, so he likes it, Tousey.
You know, it's something that people have probably criticised Rangers for this season, about not enough players
too nice
getting into the tackles and that, and maybe Andy's just it's a wee reminder, and hopefully he'll get up for that and things will be sharper, because you're going into challenge like that, you're going to pick up bad ones here too, you know, so you need to be on your game.
Barry Mackay's been summoned by Mark Warburton. What's the manager saying to the wide man?
I think he's saying get beyond the fullback, get in behind and get crosses into the box.
Stay wide, stretch them.
Yeah, they're tight across the 18-yard box. So width of the 18-yard box, they're not going any wider than that, so we need to get down the sides of them, balls into the box, and then it's about movement, midfielders getting into the box and getting in the end of things.
Now, David Weir had a word as well. As you see, not a seat to be had in the house this evening. Great to have your company on Rangers TV. 32 minutes played at Ibrox. It's Rangers 0, Dumbarton 0. And I think Andy Halliday had a word for Mr. Routledge there.
I'll not be happy when you see the tackle and the replay there. Looked at a nasty challenge.
Well, the treatment has been effective from Rangers physio Steve Walker and Doc Paul Jackson. The Rangers fans, they know he's one of their own. And they certainly letting Andy know that they're fully in his corner. Over the set play of Tavernier and King. Rangers have 73 possession at this stage of proceedings. 12 minutes to the turnaround. Ewings lines up a 3-man wall. Behind them an interesting 3-man Rangers wall. Is Tavernier. Will he get up? Will he get it down? He hits the target, but it's pouched comfortably by Jamie Ewings. Was it too far out for Tavernier to do the damage here?
It looked a fair dish. He never hits it sweet enough, Tom, you know, but I just think patience is going to be key tonight. And be careful when they get the opportunities that they do. They're going to be sparse. We've just got to make sure we defend well enough.
No goals to report. But of course, as we said, the last visit in December, 1st of December, 4-0. All goals came in the second period. And something similar is unfolding this evening. And there's Halliday. Shrugged off that knock. Kenji Miller's touch deserts him and Routledge robs him of possession. Fed long by Lindsay. And Wilson, well positioned, keeping that back door locked. Danny Wilson, well, with James Tavernier, you know, and the only ever present alongside Wallace as well. But Danny Wilson, we forget, is still learning the game as well.
Yeah, he's a young man, you know, and Danny was a kid learning with Davy Weir. Back here, he's learning with a new centre half at the start of the season. Takes time, Tom.
King dancing. Mackay takes over. Saunders doesn't commit. Back for Wallace. Wrong foot for Lee Wallace. Tries to work it back in his favoured left peg. Elects to introduce Mackay again. Wallace gives him an out ball, going round the back door and knocked away again by Buchanan. And is this what we need? We need the full-backs or the midfielders getting beyond the furthest advanced player?
Overlapping, and I think that's what the manager was saying to Barry Mackay there, you know, to get in the full-back. Lee Wallace, that's the first time he's actually looked to come around outside of him.
There's Tavernier in the very central and advanced area. Rangers leaving two at the back at the moment. The twin towers of Wilson and Kiernan. The full-backs pushing on. Halliday just operating in front of the back two because Dumbarton only have one out ball, and that's Nadi, but it's another Hearts man in possession just now. King, still Billy King. Oh, the step over from Holt. The early delivery back intended for Holt from Kenny Miller. Just goes astray, John.
Yeah, it was a good move, good dummy. You're wondering if Kenny would have had a strike himself.
Here's Holt again. You just get the impression that Rangers, although so very much in the ascendancy, in need of a goal, but you get the impression Dumbarton at the moment are chasing shadows.
They are, Tom. I'd like to see more midfield players looking to get into the box here. We had one in for the cutback.
Still Rangers nil, Dumbarton nil. Here's Halliday. Kiernan. Forrester drops the shoulder, tries to lose Lindsay. Lindsay sticks to the task. And the decision goes Rangers' way. A bit of afters there between Docherty and Forrester. Rangers do get the corner. Harry Forrester, well, showing he's got a real competitive edge.
He's got something to turn them, Tom, and a meaty challenge for the Dumbarton defender there, and I think that's getting the crowd going too. So, you know, it's starting to liven up.
Lindsay with a sliding challenge. He's looking for the goal kick, and Docherty just making sure that Forrester can't gather, and he's just literally emptied him with a shoulder charge.
Yeah, well, hopefully that wakens up the Rangers team.
Here's the corner. King with the responsibility. In fact, it's Mackay rather. Now Holt has it. Forrester again rolls the defender. Kenny Miller! Well, he did it all right, did Kenny Miller. He gets it up. It just fails to come down, and it inches over that crossbar.
It's a great effort for Kenny, but we've still got to make the goalkeeper do some work here. I don't think he's had a save yet. So 38th minute we're into. Let's hit the target.
Forrester again involved, and Kenny Miller just curling the effort off target. 93 career goals for Rangers. Kenny Miller in search of number 94. 0-0, half-time approaching, some 7 minutes away. Kiernan gets there first ahead of Taggart. Forrester again, battling for it. Held off by Routledge. Pressure on the ball from Forrester pays off. Miller for Jason Holt. King has space to operate in. Docherty comes across to close him down. King with a step over, cuts it near post. Turned behind by Fraser Wright. Another corner, Rangers. Still Rangers nil, Dumbarton nil. The goals on the horizon, John Brown.
Yeah, I think the pressure we're putting on them is just that final ball and getting bodies into the box. I think Kenny's unlucky there with his straight edge of the box. And in a matter of time, you know, with 5-6 minutes to half time, it'd be good to get a goal before half time, Tom.
Well, it's Mackay with the corner kick. Rangers have loaded the box with the exception of Kiernan and Lee Wallace. Fired in by Mackay. No takers. Comfortably headed away by Buchanan. Here's Tavernier! He got everything, including the kitchen sink on that, and it's just off target.
Yeah, just a deflection there, Tom. It looked as though it was on target, sir.
It's a sloppy clearance, and Tavernier gets a deflection on its way off target. Another corner. Forrester. Mackay. The intensity from Rangers has been excellent. Just need to improve perhaps the final ball. Holt gets it again from Barry Mackay. Forrester wants it again. Like to see players in black boots. Forrester again. Dinks it in. It goes astray. And Ewings comes out to gather. Ewings making his 10th league start of the season tonight. He lost his place to Mark Brown at the start of the campaign. But Forrester, well, he's certainly on fire goals-wise, John. 5 for the season. Mark Warburton called him a street player, and I think that sums him up quite nicely.
Yeah, but he's played a big part in recent weeks with the results and performances of the Rangers team. You know, we've conceded a few goals, but he's been responsible for the creation and scoring a lot of the goals.
Forrester has it again. Closed down as he tries to feed it long for Billy King. Tavernier.
It's just like that, Tom, you know, it's carelessness with the passing. Just to calm down, just get the ball down, pass. Opportunities are going to arise. The tension, you can feel it in the stadium. The fans are desperate to win the championship, and the players just need to calm down, keep passing the ball. Opportunities will open up, and I'm sure there's goals there in the second half.
The clearance is only as far as Fleming, but he rushes the pass. Yeah, a lot of the guys here have never been in this sketch before, John. Guys like Tavernier, Kiernan, who've been bobbing about, playing with a number of loan clubs. Andy Halliday, the same. You know, to get continuity as they've been enjoying this season at Ibrox, but they're not experienced winners, for want of a better term.
There's only 2 players on the park that know that experience, Kenny Miller and Lee Wallace. The rest don't know what it means you have to win every game.
And they perhaps have to assist in getting you over the line. And it's Miller who might just try and create the opening. He was in possession, he's fed Holt. King tries to change direction and create that half yard. Only 1 goal so far from King came against Falkirk. A crucial goal it was, as Mackay has it now. Shot and back for Wallace. Holt tries to work the opening. 4 minutes of the first period remaining. Breaks down again, but the pressure still on through Halliday. Tries to hold off Fleming. Introduces Tavernier. Fires it in again. Corner Rangers. It literally is one-way traffic, John.
Yeah, and it's desperate defending for Dumbarton. I think they've been well organised at the back, but sooner or later, you know, an opportunity is going to arise and just hit the target. I think we've had a free kick on target, but that's been the only thing. If we can get movement in the box and bodies into the box to get in the end of crosses here.
Tavernier tries to create something with the drag back. Now he's found Miller. Can't get his shot away because of the defensive duties of midfielder Fleming, back alongside, shoulder to shoulder, along with his centre backs. Wallace again out to Mackay. Doubling up in the right back area, and that's a lunge and a shocking challenge from Stephen Saunders. And the second yellow card of the evening, and Mackay got it very late indeed, John.
Yeah, but he's willing to take them on there, Tom, and get in behind, and you're going to get free kicks, and then it's all down to delivery here. I think Tavernier, I'd like to see Kiernan getting up there. I think he's a presence in there, and he could maybe get an end of something here.
2 yellow cards in the last 6 or 7 minutes. Does that tell you some tired legs and minds in the Dumbarton side already?
And they're going to get more yellow cards, and it might be a red because it's a bit backs to the wall the way they're defending here, and I think it's a matter of time before we get that first goal.
Rangers have the free kick. Tavernier is over the ball. Signals his intent. Fires in! Oh, and the goalkeeper has to claw it away. I'm not convinced that's what he intended, but he almost caught the keeper out.
No, but he nearly caught the keeper out. It's a great delivery. I thought Kiernan just peeled off round the back post and nearly getting the end of it, but a good save by the goalkeeper.
Rangers in search of the opener. Half time, 3 minutes away. It's Halliday. Through half-time, we'll hear from this man, Lee Wallace, will be on the spot, up close and personal, answering your questions. Here's Holt. King has it now, back for Tavernier. It's so tight in there. Now Mackay, away in front of the Sandy Jardine stand. Halliday might fancy it, might uncork one! Somehow or another, the goalkeeper gets himself in front of it, pitched awkwardly. Halliday denied by the save from Ewings. Pressure still on. Back for Wallace. Miller with a short corner. Halliday with a shot. Here's Forrester. Back for Halliday. Dinks it in again, looking for Miller. Miller with a header, no trajectory or power on it. Dumbarton, if this was a boxing match, he would anticipate a towel getting thrown on.
Yeah, it's looking good for Rangers here, Tom. You know, they're defending for their lives here. They're desperate challenges getting in there. Just a little bit of quality is just going to unlock the door here.
Halliday in search of his 9th goal of the season. Now Mackay. Here's Tavernier again. Big switches on for Wallace. Taggart comes across to close him down. Forrester angles his run across the box. Holds off Buchanan. Buchanan's defended well tonight for Stevie Aitken's side, and Taggart and Routledge between them get it away. Good take from Danny Wilson. Composed and comfortable, John.
Yeah, but for Dumbarton here, Tom, when they see the ball going forward and they can't retain it, sooner or later it just demoralises you, and it's just a matter of time before we get a goal.
Here's Tavernier. King. Still King. The blue light in that one for Tavernier. He does well to keep it though. King again steps in. He's got good feet, as his Holt. Shot intended for Forrester. Launched away again by Dumbarton. But you know it's just going to come straight back down their throat if it all goes to plan. Although Kiernan dallies and Nadi out-muscles him. He recovers at the expense of a corner.
Big Rob's got to just clear his lines there. Don't let the ball bounce here. The big boy Taddy's a big, strong, powerful guy. And if you're off balance, he's just going to cause you problems. That's 2-3 times Big Rob's got to defend better.
He's been round the block, of course. Christian Nadi came to Hearts in 2007 from Sheffield United. He's a handful. Perhaps carried a bit of excess timber round the middle on occasion as the ball's fired long. Missed by Kiernan. Dealt with by Danny Wilson. And Rangers only one man up the field, and King is robbed by Mark Docherty. He's also got the better of Harry Forrester for the moment. 45 minutes have come and gone. Goalless at Ibrox. Through half-time tonight, we'll bring you the first half analysis, then hear for skipper Lee Wallace, before we bring you the full second half commentary, exclusively live on Rangers TV. Laid off King, gathered by Holt. Off and running, just runs into traffic again, but it breaks for King. 1 minute 10 beyond the 45. Wallace for Miller. Mackay from the central row playing off the front. In for Lee Wallace again. Pirouettes before feeding it back to Mackay. Halliday came close moments ago. King just looking to roll the defender. Again, can't get that half yard. Rangers just start it again. Popping a patience pill. Like everybody watching Rangers TV tonight has to do as well, I suppose, John.
Yeah, I think the fans round the globe will be frustrated watching this, but I'm sure second half the manager will have words at half time. Got to up the ante, and you'll get a reaction, and I'm sure we'll be celebrating at full-time whistle. Shades
of the 1st of December when Dumbarton were last year. It was 0-0 after 45 minutes, but Rangers ran out comfortable winners 4-0 in the second period. And after 45 minutes tonight at Ibrox, the scoreline sits the same. It's Rangers 0, Dumbarton 0. John Brown and I will be back with full first half analysis shortly. Half time at Ibrox, it's goalless.
This is no ordinary place of work. This is where dreams can become reality. This is where dedication and desire come together to create glorious and lasting memories which span the decades. This is Ibrox, home of records and legends. But this is where it starts. This is the gateway to greatness. It is at this world-class facility the first steps towards becoming a Rangers player are taken. The skills required and the mindset demanded are honed here at the centre of excellence under the ever-watchful eye and guidance of experts in their fields. Their characters are forged here so that they are given every opportunity to succeed and to become all they can be on and off the field of play. Here they are allowed to dream and aspire so that one day they might follow in the footsteps of the club's giants. This is the opportunity your support of the Rangers Youth Development Company provides. It is your generosity, your own dreams and ambitions for this club, which helps keep this gateway to greatness open. It is you who make sure there's light at the end of the tunnel.
Well, Harry Forrester, with 5 goals in his Rangers career since joining the club in January, was first to show tonight as Rangers look for the early opener. The shot from Forrester might not have had the conviction that we've seen in previous weeks from him, and Ewings was well positioned to make the save from Dumbarton. Here's the first effort on target this evening as Rangers entertain Dumbarton. Forrester coming close. Kiernan starts it. Forrester's touches through. The conviction, not quite there, John.
No, but it's just getting it on target. I think we've started maybe not 100%. You've got to give credit to Dumbarton. They've been well organised. Their manager would have set his stall out to quieten the crowd. He's done that, and the players have been frustrated. But as I say, Tom, it's 90 minutes the game lasts, and it's going to take 90 minutes to win this tonight. And I think around about 55-60 minutes you'll see tiredness in the Dumbarton defence, and hopefully we've got a bit more spark at the start of the second half.
Well, Kenny Miller grabbed a hat-trick down at Dumbarton on the 2nd of January, and tonight he came within an inch of the opener. A wonderful effort from Kenny Miller, a curling effort from distance that was just over the crossbar, John.
Yeah, good ball in, and just laid back, and he just tries to bend it around to the top corner there, but Kenny's not had a great deal of opportunities tonight because they've defended that well. They've been deep, their midfield's been in front of him. There's not been very many passes coming into his feet, but it's been a good layoff there, and he's just unlucky. It's about a foot out, or else it could have been in the top corner.
Yeah, Forrester again influential with the layoff. No backlift from Miller, and just off target. Well, James Tavernier's been a revelation from full-back, with 12 goals for the season, 8 of which have come in the league, and Tavernier was next to get forward. His driven effort was deflected for a corner.
Yeah, it's a good strike. It looks as though it's going to be right on target. Defender just gets a header on it, just takes it up. You know, whether the goalkeeper would have saved it is a different matter. But it's out there, good first time touch and great strike, and just you'd expect the defender to get something on that.
Well, Tavernier was denied on that occasion. Rangers then won a free kick after a very questionable challenge on Andy Halliday, and Tavernier stepped up, and we know it's prowess from these set ball situations. And again, this time the free kick didn't quite do enough to get Rangers the opener.
No, but it's probably further out than I thought.
It's a curler, shades of the Hibernian goal, John.
A bit, yeah. But I think the goalkeeper read that too. But Big Kiernan was heading round the back post area, you know, maybe a bit close to the goalkeeper.
And then, arguably, after this Tavernier effort, came Rangers' best chance late in that first half, and it was Andy Halliday in search of his 9th of the season, a pre-match doubt, carrying a heavy cold. He's taken 1 or 2 Towsy challenges along the way this evening as well. He unplugged one from distance. It bobbled awkwardly in front of Ewings, but the Dumbarton keeper dealt with it, John.
Yeah, I think he said came into it with a cold there, but looks to get a good touch, and it's a punch for the goalkeeper where you're expecting him to save that. Wasn't he the strongest of the efforts, but you've got to hit the target and make the goalkeeper make the save.
Or someone following up even closer when the goalie effectively doesn't push it that far from goal.
Well, I think he does. He does enough to get it well out the 18-yard box, Tom, you know, so I think it's been a disappointing half for the players there and the fans. I don't think we've played to a high level. We've been excellent this season, but there's a lot at stake here tonight, and I think the nerves, and on the back of the disappointment, you know, clinching the title on Saturday, there's been a wee bit of that about it, and I think the manager will have strong words with Davy Weir at half-time, and I'm sure will come out and will show a strong second half and put the game to bed, hopefully in the first 15-20 minutes.
There's still a huge sense of anticipation all around Ibrox this evening. The title party could be as close as 45 minutes away. And one man, well, he stayed when others walked away. And tonight, Lee Wallace gets some reward. In fact, as Rangers captain, he can win 2 trophies in the next 6 days. Lee is the Ranger everyone wants to talk to and talk about. Here is Captain Fantastic on the spot, up close and personal, and answering your questions.
What's been your proudest moment as a Rangers player? I think proudest moment will definitely be the goal against Celtic. Obviously, to play in an Old Firm game is an unbelievable experience. And to score a goal, obviously, that turned out to be the winner on the day was a magical experience, and one that I'll never forget. Who is your footballing idol? It's actually Ronaldo, the first Ronaldo, or the real Ronaldo as folk. I'll refer to him as. I just always remember growing up, getting all his strips, and obviously I took to him with the fact that what are you laughing at?
Nothing.
Obviously I was actually...
I see a lot of Ronaldo in the way that...
What, the real one? How he looks now?
Yeah, I see a lot of him in you, yeah.
Aye, and I just followed him. Obviously I was a massive Brazil fan at the time as well. Used to love watching him, and he was pivotal everything they done. Who is the best player you have played with and against? The best player I've played with is probably Stephen Davis. I just think, obviously, his qualities are there for every Rangers fan. Everybody knows the quality, the fact that he's kicked on to the Premier League and done even better in a good Southampton team. Just speaks volumes for him, for his quality, and the fact that he was always fit, he was always training. Just loads of attributes that stick out with him. But his attitude was obviously first class as well. Best player I've played against, probably again in a friendly, probably Ronaldinho when Hearts played Barcelona in a sort of glamour friendly at Murrayfield that day, and Ronaldinho was just obviously everything you'd expect, and just the fact that he played on the pitch, he just smiled the whole 90 minutes, or for however long he was on the pitch, just a guy enjoying his football and obviously playing with one of the best teams in the world. Has there been anything he's taken from Mark Warburton's approach and integrated into his own Tynecastle side? I think definitely, as you'll know, without being stupid and knowing that there's a severe difference in the levels. Of course, the full-time football to part-time football to name one, but it'd be stupid of me not to take anything for the gaffer and how he's worked. If anything, we've took a lot, not just on the footballing side, on the tactical or technical side, but the mental approach to training and the setting of targets and the standards you've got to have in your club to be successful. So it would have been daft to me never to go back to Steve and Ross at Tynecastle and no suggest any of the managers' principles or mindsets. So I've certainly done that. Gregory Vignal or Sasa Papac. Sasa Papac probably, as I had that year with him, obviously I knew he was an outstanding left back for the club. Hugely successful player, both with his national side and here at Rangers, and one that I knew that I was coming in to learn off, learn the position, learn the character that you maybe needed as a full-back at a big club, and one that I had to try and work hard to try and get into the team. But I think Sasa had moved into centre midfield at times, and I had played left midfield and played well. We had a no bad partnership, and he was a right good guy. My son is 6 and he trains at Murray Park with the elite centre on a Sunday night. He lives and breathes football and has a season ticket at Ibrox too. What advice would you give him on how to make it as a professional footballer? I think obviously at that age the key's got to be you've got to enjoy it. You have to, you've got plenty of time to sharpen all the tools and get your fitness and learn the tactical side and the ins and outs of being competitive and wanting to win. But I think at that age you've certainly got to enjoy it. I remember back when I first started kicking a ball, it was about the same age. And I think it's key that you enjoy it and you always have that hunger to go back. And as I said, slowly but surely the older you get, the need for learning on the other side of the game will come. So enjoying it and working hard, obviously. Who has been the biggest influence on your career? I'd just probably say my mum and dad, for sure. They've always been there for me. They've always made sure I had the right environment, the right the proper upbringing that I can hopefully, if I can copy and do with my 2 sons, or if I have any more in the future, that they'll certainly be going in the right direction. But I think definitely mum and dad have always supported me and always led me up the right path and made it easier for me, just if I worked hard, that I could do what I wanted or go as far as I wanted in the game. So I'd probably say they too.
Do you think your boys are going to be players?
I'd hope so. We're forcing them. I think they're not at that stage yet. Leo's just starting like a Saturday school, just early touches. But I think hopefully, again, without pushing them, I hope they do play football.
Well, a frustrating first 45 this evening at Ibrox, and a team that was sent out tonight in a very attacking formation with one change from Saturday. Billy King getting the nod ahead of Michael O'Halloran. But Rangers been knocking on the door. Dumbarton defending deeper than you could ever imagine, but we've yet to get the breakthrough. Don't go anywhere. John Brown and I will be right back with a review of the full second half action. That's the bottom line here. Rangers 45 minutes away from the championship title and looking forward to next season's campaign back in the top flight where we belong. Don't go anywhere. John Brown and I back with full second half commentary next. Well, Rangers looking to wrap this league title up before the Petrofac Cup final on Sunday. That's one you'll catch live on Rangers TV. Rangers against Peterhead at Hampden Park on Sunday, 3 o'clock UK kickoff. We've got a full show for you. We've got Peter Lovencrans on co-commentary, and Alice Hedworth will present the programme, and we'll have trackside through Nick Thompson from Rangers Media as well. The teams take the field for the second period. Interesting warm-up from Dumbarton as they get set for the second period. 45 minutes played in the first period, no goals to report. John Brown joining me this evening on commentary. Incidentally, the bookmakers tonight made Rangers 1-8 favourites. 15-2 was the betting for the draw, and Dumbarton to take all 3 points, an outrageous 16-1 their cash. Rangers certainly controlled the tempo of the game. They played the game inside Dumbarton's half of the field. It would be a hugely tall order, John Brown, were Dumbarton able to see this through for another 45 minutes without conceding.
You come to me when I'm having a chocolate eclair. Is there any chance, Tom?
Sorry.
Yeah, I think the way the game was going at the end there, backs to the wall from Dumbarton, and I think it's just a matter of time before we'll get that first goal.
Get back to the eclair. We're underway for the second period. Thanks for joining us, Rangers TV. Tom Miller, chalky eclair, no, not Brian. John Brown enjoying a half-time snack as Tavernier has it, looks to release Holt, but backtracking again to good effect. Dumbarton defending desperately. It was Jamie Lindsay with a touch this time. Miller again, always willing to come short, try and create the opening. Forrester in a deep midfield role tonight. Now Mackay, Forrester drops anchor as Wallace goes long, angles it into Holt as take is through. Again, immediately, it's a back four, then 5 ahead of them for Dumbarton. Holt and Mackay. Incidentally, it's still Hibs 0, Livingston 1. Billy King, chance to drive it, Mark Docherty. King maybe just have thrown it in earlier. Dances into the box, there's a late challenge. Forrester hits the target. In no backlift at all. Decent effort from Harry Forrester. Good strike, saved by Ewings. But again, could King have delivered earlier?
Well, I didn't see anything on there, you know, and there are a blanket about 4 or 5 defenders there, Tom. But another good strike by Forrester. Goalkeeper has to do his job.
Yeah, Harry Forrester certainly showing real endeavour and desire this evening. Fleming's forward ball breaks off Holt.
I think the other thing too, Tom, is Dumbarton will know that Livingston are 1 up at Hibs, and they know they need to get points or else they're in a playoff position, so they might need to come out.
Wallace does so well, covering the territory quickly, and it's shanked behind by Buchanan. Well, I tell you what, Lee Wallace sprinted down the line to make that his ball.
Yeah, I think the managers obviously had words at half-time to up the tempo, get into them, first 10 minutes, get them in the back foot, and we've created one chance already in the second half, and I think the tempo's got to be lifted here and more opportunities created.
Forrester, the 1-2 with Miller, tries to find Billy King, can't gather, and again Buchanan ushers it back to goalkeeper Jamie Ewings. It's still Rangers 0, Dumbarton 0. We've played 3 minutes of the second period. John Brown joining me in commentary tonight, and John will be back with us on Rangers TV again on Sunday the 17th, when Rangers make their second trip to Hampden inside 7 days, and Celtic await in the Scottish Cup semi-final tie. Nadi gets there, flicks it away from Kiernan. Nadi again gets the break, turns it wide for the movement of Docherty. He's dragged Kiernan out, takes the sting out of things, and gathered by goalkeeper Fotheringham. It's one of those nights where the goalkeeper, John, has to have huge levels of concentration. It's something that Andy Gorham turned into absolute art for him.
Absolutely, and just looking at Dumbarton in the second half, they'd about 4 or 5 forward in the around about the 18-yard box here, so they're obviously looking to maybe try to nick a goal here.
Miller might nick one here, and the goalkeeper comes and claims it. It's in there a long time from Mackay there, John.
Yeah, a bit of frustration there too. I think just keep playing away. I just seen signs that their midfield was a bit stretched there when we won the ball there, and I think hitting them on the break, they might be caught out position here, Tom.
No goals to report. It's game 38 for Stephen Aitken, in charge of Dumbarton, who replaced former Ranger Ian Murray in May of 2015. Previously managed Stranraer. Kiernan feeds it out to King, trying to stretch Dumbarton now. King, still King. Holt, a wee bit static. Forrester shows. Curls one in, too deep, no takers. And the ball's still in play. There's a chance here for King. Oh, a huge save from Ewings. It looked as if the ball was dead. Barry Mackay's determination kept her in play. King denied by Ewings. Forrester fires one goalwards. Movement on the ball caused havoc for the goalkeeper, but he got a strong wrist on it too, John.
Yeah, a lot better there, Tom. You know, Forrester, a couple of good efforts there.
Here's the first one from King.
Great strike, and I think it's a great
Full
save
volley
for the goalkeeper there too. He's made a couple of great saves.
And then in the follow-up,
and I think
Forrester,
he's already heading down there, and he's just caught that.
It might have taken a deflection from Forrester, but the goalkeeper did well, stayed tall. Still Rangers. Halliday now for King. Thought about the early shot from distance. Feeds it to Forrester. Holt goes beyond him when he gets it. Looks to stand it up. There's the goal!
Yes.
It's James Tavernier! A well-worked goal by Rangers. 5 minutes into the second period. Rangers break a deadlock, and it's Tavernier's 15th of the season.
Another great move there, Tom. Just down the right-hand side. Forrester, King, and just played in there. Tavernier getting in there. Fantastic.
The right back is in the centre forward zone,
yeah.
But the build-up, Forrester's awareness, Holt's movement, and the delivery is on the money. And the finish is not bad either.
Yeah, it was fantastic. And you just seen signs at the start of the second half. We were creating chances. Great cutback, and we weren't getting into these positions in the first half. We are now.
Is that all about doing it that bit quicker?
Yeah.
Releasing the ball, movement off the ball, and the finish from Tavernier breaks the deadlock. We've played 6 minutes of the second period. The magic hat is happening all around Ibrox.
Yeah, you just feel the whole place alive now. Dumbarton's got to have a go, and I think it'll create opportunities, and there'll be a lot more space for us.
Well, James Tavernier, the close range finish. We've seen the miss from there though, John, in a pressure pot environment.
Yeah, but to be fair to the right back, he's 13 goals, is it, Tom? A fantastic return.
Here's King, back to the goal scorer Tavernier. Now Forrester. King again in the build-up. They were involved earlier. Here's the executioner in Tavernier through Forrester. Rangers looking for a second goal. Holt and King. Now Dumbarton. Do they have to open up a bit here, John?
I don't think they'll want to too early, because that second goal just killed them here. You know, and I think
they're coming forward again through Billy King. He just runs into a very stubborn defender in the form of Gregor Buchanan. But the pressure from Rangers absolutely intense right now.
I think the next 10-15 minutes Dumbarton will just want to keep it tight, but I think the game's starting to open up. You've seen it in the first half, and we knew we'd get space in that box, and I think we'll be creating a few more chances and getting a few more goals.
Under different circumstance, you would be asking, why is your right back central and in the 6-yard box as you're loading the box in search of the opener? But it shows you the confidence is flowing through this side just now.
Absolutely is, but it took a full back to make that run.
Forrester, here's Kenny Miller, and there is no flag either, John. A clever ball dissecting Dumbarton's rear guard, and the goalkeeper quick to come and gather.
And Kenny's unlucky, he's just between the defenders there, and it's just half a yard on the ball there too, or else he's in.
8 minutes of the second period played. The deadlock broken 3 minutes ago. A sensational build-up. Holt with a square ball, and James Tavernier with a tap-in for his 13th of the season. Rangers 1, Dumbarton 0. Over the top from Tavernier. Forrester covers the yards. Headed away by Fraser Wright, but gathered by Billy King. It's still King. Billy King can't work the opening. Tries to feed it back for Forrester. Tavernier keeps it high in Dumbarton territory. Halliday. Oh, wonderful change of direction from Andy Halliday. Has to work it back to Holt now. I think Dumbarton are looking for the cavalry, John.
They're going to need something here tonight. I think the tempo's been picked up 100%, and just the atmosphere here now, Tom. I'm just reminiscing and going back a number of years to winning trophies and clinching titles. It's the best days of your career, your life, and hopefully these boys will enjoy it.
On this day in 1998 wasn't a bad day either, John. Amoruso made his debut in a cup semi-final that finished Celtic 1, Rangers 2. The goal scorers, Alberts and McCoist that day. So, yeah, memorable days.
Memorable days, and you're going back a few years where we've turned over Celtic in a semi-final, Tom, was it?
Mark Hateley's in the director's box there this evening. Yeah. Another player that knows what winning's all about. Meanwhile, a number of young Rangers behind him. Ryan Hardy, Jordan Thompson, Martin Waghorn's in there with Liam Kelly and David Templeton. Yeah, and they'll look on wanting to be part of this, John.
Well, they have been. You know, these guys have been part of the squad. It's not just about 11 guys on the park, so they'll enjoy it. And I noticed Big Mark in there too, you know, and many happy memories we had out here, winning championship, winning games against the Old Firm Cup finals. Fantastic days.
Rangers' 116th goal of the season in the reign of Messrs Warburton and Weir. Dumbarton still defending very deep as Rangers attack the Copeland Road end of the stadium. Dumbarton with 2 wins only in their last 10 matches. However, their next 3 matches are all at home. And then they travel to Hibs and Alloa to bring the curtain down on their campaign.
They've had to chase the ball for 56 minutes now. Here's another opportunity here
to Wallace now, feeds it in. Fraser Wright summoning up all his experience to deny Jason Holt the shooting chance. But the pressure continues. Telegraphed by Forrester. Taken away by Lindsay. Kiernan gets there ahead of Nadi, and you have to look at Nadi. Has he run his race?
I think so, but the service, you know, it's a hard one for him tonight. You know, he's up there on his own. I just feel as though that Dumbarton have had to chase the ball the whole night, and they'll be drained. They'll be coming out thinking, are we going to have to go through 45 minutes of this? They're a goal down. They know they've got to score goals to stay in this division, and this is a tall order for them now.
Halliday, Wallace. There's indications that Rangers have a wee bit more space to exploit since the turnaround. Incidentally, with shipping 3 goals in the last 3 matches, it was the first time Rangers had done that since 1956. And coming out of that bad trot on that occasion, round about Christmas, Rangers then went on to romp the league after shipping 3 in 3 matches. They saw off Queen of the South 4-0, then beat Celtic 2-0. Well, a bit of deja vu wouldn't go wrong. Here's Tavernier, does well to win it in a high line. King has it now. Forrester hangs one up. Tavernier! He should have claimed his second.
Yeah, he's got in there again. The space has just opened up, but it was a fantastic ball in by Forrester there too.
Oh, Tavernier, so alert, just bombs on, play it in there. Maybe his heading not his biggest strength.
No, but there's so many gaps starting to open up in the Dumbarton defence. Their midfield aren't tracking back as much. The back line is just, there's too many spaces between defenders, and it's creating a good space for the players, the Rangers players, midfield players, full-backs getting into the box.
13 minutes played in the second period. The deadlock broken around 7 minutes ago by James Tavernier as King has it. Docherty comes across to offer some resistance, and he does so. Forrester chases the loose ball. A quick hello to the Bailey Loyal, who tonight are in Tenerife. No shot there. Here's Halliday. Tavernier. Well, it might be Richard Goff's birthday, but Tavernier's looking to celebrate a birthday, isn't he?
Yeah, well, but he's got to get back in here because they're hitting in the counter-attack. We're lacking bodies in the box.
Taggart has it, having dug out with a crossfield ball from Nadi. Rangers filter bodies back. Back for Fleming. Dumbarton skipper, their top scorer, but playing in a much deeper role tonight. Tries to link again in there with Callum Waters, and Rangers collectively defend in numbers.
I don't mind the fullbacks getting forward into the box, but as soon as they lose it, the first priority is getting back into position. So it's a sprint, Tom, not a jog back in. I think Tavernier needs to get back in quicker.
Well, he's in possession again just now. And he's threaded it into the path of Forrester. Just couldn't quite take it in his stride. Rangers 1, Dumbarton 0. Forrester keeps pressure on the ball in the high area. Holt wanted it earlier than that. Has to chase it. Tavernier didn't spot him. Just play it a wee bit earlier. There's an early snapshot on.
Yeah, but things are looking good here, Tom. You know, I think all the possessions with Rangers, and it's that final ball just going to open them up again.
John Brown joining me in commentary tonight. Always a pleasure. Here's Halliday. We've all been part of the journey, and that's another shockingly late challenge on Andy Halliday.
Yeah.
And the referee again is to intervene, and I think this is a topping up job. Lindsay is giving his last warning. Halliday's back at his feet. He's been in the wars tonight though, John.
Yeah, but at the same time he's got possession there. Move the ball faster.
Dumbarton about to make a change. Grant Gallagher coming on, former youngster at Celtic. First signing by manager Stephen Aitken from his previous club, Stranraer, and he'll replace on loan Celtic youngster Jamie Lindsay. Gallagher probably come in front of that back four. Tall, physical player, and he'll just try and look to play it long and release Nadi on the early counter-attack.
Yeah, but I think having had Nadi there too at Dundee, I think his time's about up. I think they need a bit more legs up front, Tom, to maybe close down the Rangers defenders.
No sign of any changes at the moment for Rangers, although Michael O'Halloran may just be getting ready. The manager does like a change round about the hour mark. Yes, Wilson. There's been no questions asked really of Rangers defensively tonight, John.
No, I think they've had a free kick that Kiernan put into his own goalkeeper, but apart from that there's been nothing from Dumbarton.
Holt works it back to Halliday. Now Wallace. Kiernan, who's sitting? Kiernan comes long, feeds it into Forrester. It's a good take from Forrester. He's in a one-man mission there to get an angle, but just runs out of angle, tracked by Buchanan. And Rangers started again from where it started moments ago. Tavernier now down the line for Billy King. Docherty backtracks. King just shows him too much, and the experienced Docherty steps in. His clearance only as far as Tavernier though. Early delivery for Mackay. Support is King. The referee doesn't want to know. Well, the referee immediately with a big shake of the head. Billy King looks rather bemused.
Yeah, I thought it was a bit soft myself, so I'd like to see that again, but well, he's just fallen into the defender.
Well, Barry Mackay, who's had a bit of a roving commission since half-time, leaves the field. Michael O'Halloran, his replacement. Well, O'Halloran makes his 10th Rangers appearance this evening. Barry Mackay goes off, means Billy King will switch to the wide left area. O'Halloran operating on the right, with Forrester playing off the main striker that is Kenny Miller. Here's the aforementioned Miller. Now King. He's fired it across the face. That was an extra set.
That was a fantastic strike. Just a pity there was nobody there to get in the end of it, Tom.
As we see it again, King immediately hitting the ground running after he switched from right to left. Decoy run from Wallace. Two-footed, as we see from King, and he's not that far away.
Yeah, it was a decent strike. Just gets beyond the defender there, and it's unlucky right across the face of the goal. But I think O'Halloran coming on here, Tom, you know, you've got pace, and if we can get in behind him, he's got the pace to burn and expose a lack of pace in their defence.
At this stage of proceedings, but Dumbarton do win a free kick. Nadi.
This is where we've got to defend better too, Tom. I think in set pieces we've got to be strong. They've got a bit of height there, and we've got to attack it. Highest point.
Looking to deliver here is Callum Waters. Nadi the target. Buchanan's gone long as well. No one gets anything on it, and the referee takes the easy option by awarding the goal kick. It's Rangers 1, Dumbarton 0. The views of John Brown.
Yeah, I think possession-wise we've dominated throughout the game. Been far better in the second half. A better tempo about us, and I can see another goal or two in it if we can just push on. They're having to push players further up the park, and I think that will create space for guys like O'Halloran and King. With the pace that they've got in the wide areas could hurt them.
Well, the first ever Scottish League title, going back all the way to 1890-91 season, Rangers shared it with Dumbarton. There'll be no sharing tonight.
How old were you back then, Tom?
I had just finished high school.
Wasn't a very tall school, was it?
It wasn't. Miniature. Good things come in small doses, John. Oh, Forrester takes through. Clumsy from Docherty. Pleads his case. Free kick Rangers. A quick hello to Catherine Hill over in Virginia, a wonderful ladies footballer in the colours of Rangers, and we know you're enjoying the match tonight, Catherine. Rangers 1 goal to the good, the layoff from Miller.
And I think what we've got to be aware of, just getting hit in the counter attack. We're 1 up. This wins us the league. You don't need to be forcing things. Let them come out at you. Spaces will open up and you'll get more opportunities here.
Here's Miller. Tavernier is to look lively. Closed down by Callum Waters. Miller accelerating away from his marker. Pulling the strings. Feeds it to Michael O'Halloran. Tavernier has to look lively. Squeezes it back for Halliday. Fancies it! But Miller tries to just deflect it on target, and it goes behind for a goal kick. They're queuing up to shoot fish in a barrel.
Yeah, just unlucky. Good strike by Halliday there, and I think it just came off of Kenny Miller there too, you know. But we've got enough possession there, but just I just like to see, make sure we don't throw too many bodies forward that we get caught out.
Hello to Derek McGarry and the Sun City True Blues. Derek is the brains behind Orsa 2017, the Oceania Rangers Supporters Club. Best regards to everyone there.
I know Derek very well, Tom, and you say he's all the brains. Come on.
Is that an exaggeration?
Come on, it is.
Derek, he said it, no me. Still Rangers 1, Dumbarton 0. Dumbarton about to introduce another ex-Celt, Kevin Colley, coming on. Waters, an on-loan Celt. We've seen this before this evening. Colley, a former Celt, his replacement.
Got a few ex-Celt here, eh?
Oh, a few ex-Celts.
Oh my goodness.
They enjoy a party, John. They've been invited, special guests.
Oh well, I suppose this will be the only party they're getting this season.
Rangers just stroking it about just now, but I would like to see a second goal, John. I'm sure you would too.
Yeah, I think the fans would too, Tom, and I think they keep playing away. Opportunities are still going to arise. Dumbarton haven't created a great deal, and I can only see another goal or two for Rangers.
Kiernan has it now from Miller. Halliday looks as if he's going to play the the full 90 minutes this evening, despite carrying the heavy cold. Miller curls it back in for Wallace, and he just loses his footing. The clearance is only as far as King. Great step over with King, takes a deflection. Holt can't make it count. Tavernier tries the drive, and it's deflected by Kevin Colley. O'Halloran has it now. He's got a handful of shirt along the way there. Is O'Halloran one of these guys that's a confidence player, John? And it's difficult when he can't play in the Scottish Cup and Rangers rotating the squad at this stage of the season?
I think so, but he's come in mid-season, Tom, and I think once you get a good pre-season under his belt, he'll be a top player for us going into the Premier League.
Here's Halliday. Still Halliday. He tried to release. Oh my goodness, it's getting very tousy in there.
It's never
and the referee,
never a free kick. Never a free kick, Tom. You know, I don't know if there's a replay of that, but the guy just falls over. He pulls out, so there's no contact.
We'll see it again. Absolutely no contact. What is the referee thinking about?
If you have a look, he just dives over.
He checks the challenge.
Is that guy an ex-Celtic player too?
Mark Docherty is ex-St Mirren Alloa. Still 1-0 Rangers. And hello to Ben, who this evening was hooking up with the Desert Bears over in Dubai, as the Seagulls start to circle round Ibrox. They want in the act, John. They know there's a party on the agenda.
I think there's no crumbs going to be dished out here tonight.
And there's a great call. The legend that is John Brown is Dumbarton searching for crumbs. Actually, the last Dumbarton win here, can you believe? September 1891 was the last time Dumbarton won at Ibrox. 1891. However, there's still work to be done. 22 minutes work to be precise. Rangers 1, Dumbarton 0. Special mention too to all involved with the Legends Trek, where all funds raised are being equally shared between blind guide dogs for the blind and Rangers charity. They're all walking the West Highland Way at the moment. Scott Cunningham, and joined today by Gail Porter. Stuart McCall did a few miles yesterday apparently.
And all the best to Scott, because he's a fantastic lad and he does a great job for the charity.
He does too. Here's Tavernier, knocks one in, defended by Docherty again. Fleming up for Nadi, does well to keep possession. Taggart has it now, infield for Routledge. He's been quite disciplined, Routledge, after the early yellow card.
Yeah, it had to be, or else he would have been straight off.
What a delivery that is from Tavernier. O'Halloran does well to stay on his feet, holds off right, doubling up his Fleming. That's a lunge, but he's got the ball. Well, he certainly was off the deck, Fleming, with a challenge, but he got something on leather.
Yeah.
20 minutes remaining. Post-match, we hope to have reaction from Lee Wallace and the manager. Don't go anywhere, stay with us. Rangers look to celebrate the championship title.
This is an important time of the game about concentration here, Tom. The boys are focused, that they're not switching off, because it just takes a lap and you can lose a goal here. And
that's what Dumbarton would be looking, that Rangers start to think the job's done.
Well, they've hardly created a thing in over 70 minutes now, but we just need to keep our focus, keep our concentration and discipline.
King's looked even more effective for me since switching from right to left.
Yeah, I think at Hearts it was a position he played regularly, and but you know, you've got great options. The manager's got great options that he can put the players either side, right or left, and feel comfortable going to the outside or bringing it in the park.
And Billy King not 22 until next month, as Tavernier just overruns it. But why does he want to get involved with the referee here? The decision's got. He got 3 goals last season while on loan at Bristol City. Docherty signals his intent. Again, Nadi does well. Full volley on target, and Fotheringham had to look lively, John Brown.
Yeah, he did well. It was a good strike by Nadi, but that's what I'm saying about concentration. You know, a little lapse and you could lose a goal here.
Here's King again. Rangers go to the other end. Forrester tries to shuttle it out from under his feet. O'Halloran takes over. Tavernier on the wide area. Forrester drops off again. Tavernier goes long. It's heavy, but Tavernier does well to gather. O'Halloran can't get beyond the backtracking Docherty. It just shows you the qualities of Nadi, though. Corner. Rangers knocking on the door.
Yeah, good play, but I think Kenny Miller will be kicking himself. He never finished it first time. You want to take that touch in the box, needs to be spot on. He just comes away from it.
For the corner kick. Long, searching delivery. Is Wilson in touch? Miller's driven effort off the hand of Fleming. Goes behind for another corner.
Another good strike to Kenny, another corner kick. I think the pressure's on again, Tom. Another goal coming soon.
Taken short. Here's Forrester. In for Jason Holt. Returns the compliment. Harry Forrester. In for Jason Holt. Returns the compliment. Can't get his shot away. Dinks it in. Holt round the corner. Michael O'Halloran. Docherty shuttles. O'Halloran tries to work it out. On target and pushed behind by Ewings. This second goal has to come.
It's just a matter of time. They're just queuing up to put it in the net here, Tom. Another well-worked move. And
another corner to Rangers. One goal difference between the sides at the moment. 15 minutes plus stoppages remaining at Ibrox. The Bears are planning their party. Searching delivery again from Halliday. Wilson the target. Cleared only as far as Forrester. Wilson's gone down. Knocked back into the path of Tavernier, the man who got the only goal so far. And he's on target but pouched by Ewings. It's still Rangers 1, Dumbarton 0. And again we saw the potential danger, John, when Nadi held off the centre backs. As Rangers come forward again, there's a late challenge. Fleming on Andy Halliday. Are we mentioned this evening for the... I'll let you say that.
that's why I'm letting you say it. So.
That's a great hand at Scrabble, but great to have your company.
Masserini Rangers Supporters Club.
Fantastic. Good to have your company. Rangers 1, Dumbarton 0. Rangers coming forward again, trying to put this game to bed. O'Halloran looking to create the opening. Tavernier drops off. Width of Ibrox. Or is that Sin City?
Sin City for Derek McGutt. Derek, thanks for the week's holiday off flights included. So
thank you,
fantastic. Derek. This is on a title-winning performance tonight.
Is it Sun City or Sin City?
Well, it's Sun City, and Derek, you do have a brain.
That'll do me. In from Forrester, gathered by Ewings.
It's a pity your wife's the one that's got the brain.
Well, Ewings is showing stubborn resistance this evening, while at the other end, Nadi has proven to be a real handful. None more so than this one, and we talked, John, about the importance of the goalkeeper's concentration.
Good, and the goalkeeper's on his toes, and it's a comfortable take.
And we're no Martin Waghorn, 24 goals in league business this season.
And it's important we get back to getting a clean sheet too, Tom. You know, it's the clean sheets are the ones that give you that foundation to get yourself forward, and we've got the goal that'll clinch the title tonight, but defenders making sure we don't give nothing away.
Holt again works in for Halliday. Again, his first touch delays the chance to get an early shot away. Some news, of course, the last game of the season is now being switched for the short journey to St Mirren. Will be a 1st of May kick-off at 12:30. Here's O'Halloran. Now Kenny Miller. Billy King has it. Wallace takes over. Again, Dumbarton filtered bodies behind. Forrester's tried to conjure up all the openings tonight. He's done so well, and he tries to cut it back for Tavernier. Forrester has been a real box of tricks tonight, but again, stubborn defending Dumbarton.
Yeah, but great ability on the spin, just turns, great close control, and it's another good ball in. Defender just clearing his light on the stretch.
Now Harry Forrester, he certainly caught the imagination of the Rangers faithful. It'll be the last action this evening from Harry Forrester with 12 minutes of the match remaining. An acknowledgement to a packed Ibrox Park. Forrester off, Shields coming on.
Yeah, you can see what he means to the fans there, Tom. They really appreciate not just the skill level, but his work rate. Work rate for the team's been excellent.
Dean Shields, substitute appearance number 29 for the season. But Harry Forrester rapidly become a fan's favourite, John.
Yeah, I think the fans love him. I think they like that type of player. He wears his heart on his sleeve, and he's got ability.
Corner Rangers. Knocked in. Laid off by O'Halloran, intended for Shields, but scooped away Fleming. Returned by Tavernier, but easily defended Docherty. We knew it wouldn't be easy here this evening, John, but it's just about chiselling out the result.
Absolutely. Win the game 1-0, that's the league title, and it's nothing fancy. We've played better through the season, but it's games, the 1-0s are the ones that win you titles, and if it's scrappy, it's scrappy. The fans appreciate the work that the team have done all season. Some excellent football throughout, bags of goals, but there's nights like this that it's just win the game. If it's a scrappy 1-0, the title's won, and then focus on cup finals and semi-finals.
Absolutely. 11 minutes of the match remaining. Rangers with 76 points, on target to take another 3 on the journey this evening. Meanwhile, Hibs have pulled the goal back against Livingston as Rangers come forward again. Shields feeds it to King. He's certainly got a great first touch. Laid off by Holt. It's Wallace in the very advanced area. Switches it into the path of O'Halloran. O'Halloran can't go beyond Docherty. Tavernier first to react. Back for Halliday, been very disciplined tonight, Andy Halliday. Just gives it back to Shields on the angle. Now, if Hibs drop 2 points tonight, the maximum they could muster would be 75. And Rangers already have 76. 48,568 in tonight. And every man jack of them was willing, James Tavernier, to get it in the area and get a second goal.
Yeah, he's unlucky there, but what a great attendance, Tom. You've got over 48,000 in here. A game against Dumbarton that's going to clinch the title, take us into the Premier League, and full steam ahead, and let's get back to the great old days.
9 minutes remaining. This time Kiernan is much more resolute with the clearing header. He may just have caught Nadie on the Achilles along the way. O'Halloran's not really got to grips of the pace of the game yet.
It's very difficult the way that they've been defending there, and sometimes it's difficult to come off the bench and get the pace of the game too, you know. But he'll be an excellent player long term for Rangers.
Here's Halliday. King has it now. Look at Wallace again on the decoy. Wallace got it. He didn't particularly want it, I suggest, but Buchanan again did enough with the combination of Gallagher to get it away. Now Nadie for Fleming.
I think there's been lunging blocks, about a dozen for Dumbarton here tonight, you know, and that's kept them in the game. They're defending.
Docherty tries to feed it up to Fleming. He can't gather, and Rangers will just start it again. We've got 8 minutes of regulation time remaining at Ibrox. Thanks for joining us on Rangers TV. We're back on Sunday, the Petrofac final from Hampden, Rangers versus Peterhead. I'll be joined by last minute Lovenkrands for that one, and he knows what it's like to score goals at Hampden. King. Has King done enough tonight, John, to perhaps retain a starting jersey in the Petrofac final next Sunday at Hampden?
Yeah, well, looking at him, I think he's been a problem for them. He's got close control, causes them problems. Tried to get in behind them, creating opportunities. I don't see why not. You know, I think every one of them are playing to win the championship tonight, but obviously an opportunity to play in the cup final.
Now, of course, Billy King and Michael O'Halloran can't play the following Sunday in the Scottish Cup, William Hill Scottish Cup semi-final. Hibs have turned it on its head, are now 2-1 to the good against Livingston tonight. But John, it's irrelevant what happens elsewhere. Rangers just take 3 points tonight and the title's theirs.
I think when you go for titles, we've been involved a number of times that you just concentrate on winning your own game. Whatever happens elsewhere doesn't matter. We win our game tonight, we win the league, and that's it. I think with 8 minutes to go, 7 minutes to go, you just got to concentrate that we don't go gung-ho and we don't leave any opportunities for Dumbarton hitting us on the break. They've only really had one opportunity by Christian Nadie, and I don't see them creating a great deal, so keep possession of the ball, don't be gung-ho, putting too many bodies forward, and the league title's ours tonight.
And Dumbarton make their third and final change of the evening. They've withdrawn Gary Fleming and introduced 19-year-old Donald McCallum. He was born in Campbelltown, not notorious for producing footballers. Here's Shields. What a ball that is. Just doesn't quite have the weight to release Tavernier, but he's made it his. He's fed it into O'Halloran. O'Halloran in the box, across the face, and cleared by Buchanan. I think Buchanan's done great work for Dumbarton tonight.
Yeah, they've had to be dogged in defence. They've had a lot of pressure on them, and I think you've got to take your hat off to their defenders. You know, they've defended very well. Could have been 5 or 6 with the opportunities we've had.
Rangers looking for a second. Tavernier signals his intent from the corner. Long, deep delivery. Good take from Halliday. Miller drops off. Here's Billy King. He might just get the angle, but again, well defended. Nadie tries to bulldoze his way forward. Tavernier steps in. Kiernan has to be fleet-footed. Free kick.
Better defending and intercepted the pass and gets a free kick there. But just a wee mention to Fred Kennedy and the boys in the Bay Inn Loyal. I know you'll be having a few beers and ready to celebrate here, guys.
Now, there's a lot to celebrate after the last 4 years, John. There's no doubt about that.
Absolutely.
I think Mark Warburton and David Weir have done a fantastic job, as have the board, who just took their place just over a year ago. As Halliday comes forward. King went early. He might have played in. O'Halloran! Deflected wide by Ewings.
Fantastic save by the goalkeeper. It looked as though it was going to be 2-0 there. Fantastic ball through. Great. That's where Halloran's got his pace. You know, the back line there, and the goalkeeper gets a good toe here.
Goal call back.
The back line there, and the goalkeeper gets a good toe here.
Goalkeeper Jamie thumps it away.
Yeah, they've had to do that.
Coming off the bench, and there's a huge applause for the veteran Kenny Miller.
Been excellent this season, Tom. Kenny's been outstanding. What a good professional. Had tough times in the last few years here, but with better players round about him, he's shown his class.
Yeah, Kenny Miller will be in contention, but perhaps used sparingly next season. And the manager knows his qualities, not just on the field, but in the dressing room as Clark. It's his first
But really been impressed with the team, that we never started that well tonight, but we kept going, and we've just constantly got at them and broke them down, and it could have been 3 or 4 goals if it wasn't for the Dumbarton defending.
bit of tete-a-tete going on here. Shields, Tavernier, Halliday, and I think is one from the training ground, perhaps.
Yeah, I think Tavernier's won that one.
Understandably so. He was denied a second by goalkeeper Ewings. It was Tavernier's goal in 50 minutes. That's the difference between the sides. His 13th of the campaign. His 9th in the league season. It's going to be a short touch here for Tavernier to strike, I suspect. There it is. Oh, it's a step over. Now Halliday charged down, just too long in Routledge first to attack the ball to good effect. Halliday's to look lively.
You know, he'd be frustrated. He's had to chase the ball all night.
Yeah, and he wears his heart on his sleeve, that's for sure, Christian Naddy. Frustrated by not getting the decision from tonight's referee, Stephen McLean.
I hope the players enjoy this tonight. It looks as though we're going to see the game out, win the championship, and I hope they really appreciate all the hard work, the pre-season, right through the pre-season games, early season, the commitment that you need to be winners, and they're going to be winners for Rangers, and that's very important going into the Premier League next season.
What a delivery that is from Halliday to release King. Blocked with a stubborn challenge. Free kick Rangers. King's certainly given Rangers an extra dimension since switching to the left, John.
Yeah, I think he's cutting inside, he's in a strong right foot, he can deliver, he can drive it, defenders, and his link-up play has been decent.
And Tavernier again, we saw in the first half, coming close from similar range, as they come to the feet all round Ibrox, and a shout out to Alison McLeod and the double Hedges loyal. Tavernier checks line and length. 1 minute remaining of regulation time. Swirled in Tavernier! Fisted away Ewings. And knocked long by Fleming. Fleming first to shoulder it again. Holds off Holt. Rangers have the throw. Thanks for your company this evening on Rangers TV. Don't go anywhere. We will stay on air for Rangers celebrations and immediate post-match reaction as best we can. Nick Thompson and Alice Edworth are trackside. The atmosphere inside Ibrox right now is absolutely electrifying. We have 90 minutes under our belt. Danny Wilson just plunges it long and returned with interest from Buchanan. Spins awkwardly for Wallace, and again Wilson with the clearance. Big switch from King. Well, here's Tavernier. O'Halloran has to look lively. Swirls it in, it's just wide of the target. The last touch comes off the back-tracking Buchanan. Rangers have yet another corner. We're beyond the 90, and again Tavernier influential. Stubborn resistance from Dumbarton, John.
Just keep the ball here. I would be keeping the ball in the corner, run down the clock, let's finish it out. You don't need to be throwing it in there, and they're just going to launch it on the park. Keep possession of the ball, and the title's theirs.
Halliday just plays it into the Colton Road stand. We're 50 seconds beyond the 90 minutes. Rangers 1, Dumbarton 0. The anticipation all round the stands at Ibrox, John, is absolutely palpable. You can know it's there.
It's been 4 years, Tom. The fans have been down the lower reaches. We're going up to the Premier League, and we're going to be putting a full fist towards Celtic for next season.
It's back with right at the heart of the Dumbarton defence. Launches it long, it's won in the air by Naddy. And again, Kiernan defends well. The referee checks with his watch. Laid off by Shields, gathered by Holt. Keep ball, the name of the game for Rangers. Holt doesn't go to ground. Now, 4v4. Shields. King stretching Dumbarton. Clark is central. O'Halloran for the second ball. Still Billy King. Lays it off for Shields. Lofts it off target. Another deflection. Another corner. Rangers 1, Dumbarton 0. We're deep beyond 90, John.
Yeah, I would just be keeping it out in the corner. Get out there, keep possession of the ball. There can't be much longer now, Tom.
Keep the ball in the corner, surely.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Keep possession.
In it comes. Tavernier takes it in his chest. Clark gets involved. Dumbarton get it away. The stopwatch shows 2.5 minutes beyond the 90. Here's Kiernan. Wallace just works it back to Fotheringham. The Rangers fans are on their feet. The celebrations are imminent. Holt has it. The referee lets the game continue yet. Fully 3 minutes beyond the 90. Shields pops it long. There is no flag. Nicky Clark delays. And Buchanan smuggles it behind for a corner.
Great pass through. Absolutely fantastic.
The final whistle blows. John, we're back.
Fantastic, Tom. Great for Mark Warburton and David Weir and the staff. All the players have been fantastic throughout the season. And it's party time.
Job done this evening. Rangers are champions. And we look forward to getting back to the top of the game in Scotland. Rangers back where we belong. The world's most successful football club with a rich history are back. Our next mission will be title 55. Stranraer no more. Brechin no more. Metal no more.
Fantastic, Tom.
Penny Arcade is cranked up all around Ibrox. We knew we were in for a rocky journey on the 13th of May 2012, despite bringing the curtain down on that season with a 4-0 victory over St Johnstone. A summer of discontent followed with a campaign of desperation led by fantasists and the obsessed who wanted this fantastic football club dead and buried. There are many who still do. It was a fight, John, they could never win.
It's been a journey, Tom. You know, you think the early years with Coisty going through the lower leagues, and then Mark Warburton finishing it off this season in style. Some of the football's been fantastic, and if you just listen to the fans here, they've been crying out for the Premier League for long enough. This club is the biggest club in Scotland, and that's where we belong, and that's where we'll be again next season, and we'll be a fist that Celtic will struggle to cope with come next season.
Well, the Rangers family closed ranks and have proven to be not just strong but steadfast to rebuild the club, even when a host of charlatans and chancers in many and various guises pass through the corridors of Ibrox, John. Our collective strength of true Blue Rangers, men, women and children have delivered just not our new board, new management team and new playing squad. This season have all delivered. Take a bow, one and all, for a job well done.
And Mark can look to build for next season. His plans in place, but we've still got a massive part of the season to go to. You got a big cup final on Sunday at Hampden, followed the following Sunday by one of the biggest games in a number of years against our biggest rivals, and a great opportunity for these guys to get to a Scottish Cup final. And another nail in a coffin of the Celtic manager.
Well, the atmosphere all round Ibrox. Alice's trackside with Captain Fantastic, Lee Wallace.
Every single player associated with Rangers, every single fan can be proud of what they've done over the last 4 years, and we're finally there. So credit to everyone that's been involved throughout the years. The team that have eventually got us over the line and our tremendous supporter have been absolutely magnificent, so well done to them.
You've been here every step of the way, so emotionally for yourself, how does it feel right now?
Oh, I mean, it's of course it's a great feeling, but I don't want to take that away from the fact that it's been a magnificent team effort. As I said there, the teams that have got us there, the early seasons, the management staff, and obviously this team that's managed to get us over the line. Huge credit to the manager and Davey. They've been absolutely first class. So I think credit has to go to the manager. manager and Davy Weir, who have been absolutely phenomenal, along with the coaching staff. All the backroom team has been a magnificent team effort. So again, I just want to thank the fans who have been absolutely inspirational. Listen to the noise now. You can't beat that. The best fans in the world.
Just one last one. You made a commitment to this club 4 years ago. Are you pleased that you made that commitment?
100%. There'll never be a day that I look back with regret. I'm so proud to play for this club, and I'm going to go and enjoy this wee lap honour now.
I'll let you go and celebrate. Well
Thanks
done,
very much. Cheers. Thank you. Cheers.
Words from the captain. Enough from me for the moment, enough from John for the moment. Listen to what it means to the fans. Nobody said it was going to be easy. We've had issues to contend with that would have broken many organisations. But our founding fathers, going all the way back to 1872, laid solid foundations. And 144 years later, the original principles continue to be embraced by our global fan base. Surrender was not an option. Today we get our rewards. John, the fans have been fantastic.
And this is all about the fans, Tom. What the players have done here is an appreciation for the loyalty that these fans have shown the club over the hard years recently. And we're coming out the end of it with a boardroom in place with Rangers fans running the club, the best interest of the club, getting the best opportunity to bring in talented players for next season, and still a big part of the season to go. But the football we've played throughout the season, this wasn't the best performances tonight, but they got the job done. It was a clean sheet, and it's great to get back to great occasions like this, winning titles and seeing these young guys go down that track, that they're winners now, and hopefully they take it on in the weeks and months ahead for the rest of the season.
We can, with a sense of pride and achievement, look forward to next season, trips to Tynecastle, Pittodrie, Fir Park, into the East End of Glasgow, among others. We will remember those that had a go when we were at a low ebb. Yes, we were down, but we were never out. And now we're back. Beat the drum. Rangers looking forward to next season. We're coming after you. More titles, more trebles than any other club in the world. 33 Scottish Cups, 27 League Cups, 3 times runners-up in European competition, and a Euro Cup Winners' Cup in 1972. You cannot change history. That is a fact. And our history is sure to be added to sooner rather than later. We are the people, and we welcome the chase. The famous Glasgow Rangers, Scottish Championship winners, 2015, 2016. Never forget, it's all about the Rangers.
What can I say, Tom? That's the best finish I've seen, honestly. I'm looking at your notes here, absolutely magic. And the fans, hardly anybody's left the stadium here. What a great night. And that man on the screen there, Mark Warburton, what a job he's done this season. You know, he's come up here and he's won the fans over. Love the football he's been playing. They've played throughout the season with quality, style, bags of goals, and we come down to the one game, we win it 1-0 to clinch the title. I don't know how many points were cleared, but it's another league that a couple of months ago it was nip and tuck with Hibs, and we've just kicked on. So fantastic effort from the players and the management.
And of course these players, as they take the acknowledgement, John, will remember this for the rest of their lives, and the expectation for next campaign.
I retired in '96 playing for Rangers, and the fans still come up to you and talk about league titles and goals that you score. This will live with these players for the rest of their life, and I'm so pleased for Lee Wallace. He's been here, he went through the last 4 years, sacrificed the chance to play for his country, to captain Rangers there, along with Kenny Miller, what they've had to go through. Any two players I've got to take my hat off to and stick with the club where they too, and they deserve it. But what a fantastic night tonight.
Wonderful work by the Rangers TV team. Martin Waghorn capturing the moment. Kenny Miller, he might be getting to the veteran stage plus back, but my goodness, it's another evening that Kenny Miller will just savour forever.
Yeah, and he's going to be a big part for next season. He might not take part in as many starting positions, but his experience in the dressing room, and throughout the season he'll still be chipping in with 20 games done.
When you think back, our climb to the top kicked off with a 2-2 draw at Peterhead back in August 2012, when we had to play in training kits We didn't even have a second kit, John.
Aye, that's going back a few years there too, you know, but just a great night. I'm so pleased for the fans. The fans deserve everything, and I hope the fans worldwide, we've had to suffer a lot in recent years, but we're back and we're going to be a power next season.
Mark Warburton has been fairly fortuitous. He's had a great board to work with, and special memories for our old pal Ali McCoist this evening. He's put up with a lot that people don't understand or don't yet fully understand.
Yeah, and I think it'll all come out in time, and the job Ali's done in the early years working under the worst regime in the club's history, it says a lot to go through the leagues and win the leagues, and then set it up for Mark Warburton to come in there, bring in a standard player with a solid board in his back, backing him up, giving him the funds to bring in the players. The Rangers are back, and we're going to be stronger next season.
Andy Halliday is one of our own, and he's showing it. He's climbed in the Broomloan stand, and he's savouring every minute. He was a doubt pre-match, but he's got a smile that went to the Clyde, John Brown.
I just hope he's not passing on that dodgy cold to everybody in there. We need them for Sunday.
Absolutely. It could be a massive couple of weeks for this football club. Sunday is the Petrofac final. We can lay a ghost with that one, and it's a trophy we never want to defend, John.
Absolutely, Tom, and I think everybody's looking forward to the run in now. I think the cup final on Sunday is going to be special for the team, special for the fans back at Hampden in cup finals, and setting it up for a magic cup final the following, a cup semi-final the following Sunday.
A special night at Ibrox. The scoreline finished Rangers 1, Dumbarton 0. The 3 points secured this evening ensure that Rangers are indeed champions. 79 points for the campaign, 116 competitive goals scored this season, and I think very shortly we can head trackside and hear from Andy Halliday as he acknowledges the fans there. Nick Thompson and Alice are now gathering Andy Halliday. He's composing himself. Let's hear from Andy Halliday. He's one of our own.
Andy, back in the Premiership, tell me what this means to you right now.
It means the world to me. I just still can't believe I'm at this football club, and I told you at the start of the season I'll never take for granted for the minutes I play in this pitch. And I mean, people can say what they want about the Scottish Championship, but no one has fans like us. No one can bring the crowds we can. Look at the atmosphere today. Anyone can try and tell me we're not the biggest club in the world.
Did you think this moment would come as ever in your life, to be honest?
I always hoped it would. Obviously I was here as a young boy, and it didn't quite work out that way, but it just made it that little bit sweeter because I've came back. I've proved quite a few people wrong. I managed to play every game this season except for the one that was suspended, so that's massive for myself. And I always say we've got massive football teams at this massive football club, and even though that's the League One, we've still got massive games ahead.
To be part of this moment, how special is it for you to return the club to the Premiership?
I mean, it means the world. It means the world to everyone that's out here. And, I've said it from the start. I think we were top of the league for the day one in pre-season. It's as simple as that. And we've stayed there the full time. We've proved that we're the best team in the league by far.
You've just been in with the fans celebrating.
It was a bit impulsive. I wasn't actually going to do it. I was just sort of, I told myself at the start that I was just going to soak it up no matter what was going to happen, because you don't know how many moments that you're going to experience in football. But as always, I always get carried away, don't I? So probably expected it.
They didn't make it easy for you tonight. You got a few knocks.
I did. A couple weren't too bad, but the one in my ankle at the end of the first half was pretty sore. So, but that's the usual. I get it every game, really.
Congratulations! I'll let you go and celebrate.
Thank you.
Thanks, Andy.
Well, great work again by Alice trackside with Andy Halliday. And he had to earn his contract in the summer, John. He had to go through effectively a trial before getting a deal.
Yeah, and take my hat off to him. I remember Andy when he was a kid at Rangers, and he never quite made it. He went away, he made his name down south, and Rangers brought him back, and I think he's had an outstanding season this season, Tom. And one of the main players, along with Lee Wallace, Waghorn, the back line, they've been criticised at times, but they've proved that they've been good enough to win this league, and given the opportunity for next season going into the Premier League, it's exciting times for the club.
And how quickly did the team get built by Warburton and Weir? I mean, it was working on learning on the job as well.
Yeah, and I think to come in to make so many changes, I think there was 11 out and 8 or something coming in too, you know, and to go on the run that we did early in the season, I think the 2 Wigan lads that came in, Wycorn and Tavernier, came in straight away for a couple of weeks off, and they've been outstanding, and full credit to them.
We're about to be joined by director John Gilligan. If John Brown would be kind enough to give him the microphone. John Gilligan joining us live on the gantry this evening. John, what a special night for everyone involved in this football club.
Wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Nearly crying here. No, I'm crying, sorry.
I can see the emotion there, and it just means that one step further, there's a lot of work still to be done, John.
Let's not worry about the work, Tom. Let's just have a party. There's loads to do, but we've got right people in place, right people running the club, great manager, great backroom staff, and the best supporters in the world.
The supporters have been special from day one, going back to 2012, John.
From 2012, special. I said it before, Tom. I went up to go in this tail bus to Brecon. I thought I'd get in the bus. I couldn't get in the bus because it was full, and I had to take 3 pals of mine off the bus to let other people on it. That was Brecon. We knew we would come back. We knew.
When you made the appointment of Mark Warburton and David Weir, you knew you had people who had the best interests of this club at heart and were capable of delivering quickly.
Well, got to be honest, you take any manager you appoint, Bomber knows he's played and he's managed, but he's a special guy. He's done a great job for us. Much better than I thought it would be, I've got to be honest. He's been fantastic.
And of course, this summer, the manager will regroup again and prepare everyone properly for the next campaign when Rangers back to the top flight where they belong.
Well, again, talk to Bomber, Big Derek, whoever, Shoggy Burns, doesn't matter who you talk to. The manager has 3 or 4 weeks, John, to get a team in the park, sign players, look after players that stayed on, and he's got the best out of some of the players that have stayed on, to be fair, and that's been fantastic. Having Big Davey, Big Jim, Neil, try to think of all the boys, Craig, Ginger, the physio, I mean, myself, everybody.
There is one other person
the background team
I would just like to touch on with you just now, John. A great friend of yours, the late great Sandy Jardine. We don't have Sandy, we lost him 2 years ago this month, a real tragedy. But again, I think the spirit of Sandy has touched everyone within this football club.
Listen, Sandy Jardine is a special man, God rest him. He's up there watching us. I know he's up there with lots of others watching us. And you know, and seeing this manager, when you look at this manager's got a wee bit of class about him that Sandy Jardine had, and if he's half as good as Sandy was for the club, we're in a good place.
Rangers director John Gilligan joining us live on Rangers television, high on the gantry.
Hi Rangers fans all over the world, we love you.
We
the people.
even mentioned your Fox and Hounds crew and the Dubai boys.
You did. Good on you.
John Gilligan can now go and celebrate in the Blue Room with the rest of the directors, and we bring back John Brown after he's embraced John Gilligan there. A special evening at Ibrox. The scoreline finished in favour of Rangers by a solitary goal, but I think the emotion that we saw, John, at that full-time whistle just sums up how difficult this journey's been, and while we've got work to do, the journey to the top has had its challenges, but Rangers are back. That's the bottom line.
Absolutely fantastic. The place is empty now, Tom. I had 48,000. Everybody going to the pubs or heading home. I don't know if there are many going to make their work in the morning, but Rangers are back. We're back in the Premier League. A lot of people brought us down and wanted us kicked out of football altogether, and there's a few scores to be settled come next season, but you always like to pin it up on the board and who was the ones that had it in for you, stamped on you, and we've got memories and we remember that, and we'll take that into next season. And Mark Warburton will improve the squad. I'll add to it for competition that we're going to the Premier League to win it, not just to finish second.
Well, there's been 116 goals scored this season under Mark Warburton. Let's see the one that clinched the title this evening. So involved, as we know.
That's fantastic.
It's a great build-up, John.
Yeah, and look who's in the middle of the box. The guy, the full-back, that's got 13 goals this season. I don't know how many times I've seen him into the 6-yard box and getting in the end of things, or shots for outside the box, but crucial goal, great link-up play. Holt putting it in there, and what a great finish. A striker, Kenny Miller would be proud of that tonight, Tom.
Yeah, well, the celebrations have already started. However, The blue bandwagon moves on to the National Stadium on Sunday when Rangers will contest the Petrofac final against Peterhead. Then, of course, we're back there 7 days later. There's a small matter of the William Hill Scottish Cup semi-final against great rival Celtic. My thanks to John Brown tonight. Have you enjoyed your evening, John?
Absolutely fantastic. It's great to get back into the stadium, Tom. I wasn't getting in last year, so anything's a bonus. So.
It might have been about the deeds of others, John. However, let's not forget, it's all about the Rangers. Rangers champions 2015, 2016. That says it all.